KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk radio. Welcome. It's the John Kobylt Show. And we are here again for you every day from 3 to 6. And every day after 6 o'clock, whatever you missed, we put into a tidy little package. John Kobylt Show on demand. That's the podcast. Same as the radio show. And you can watch us on X and YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now and on X. You can subscribe and become a member at youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show. We've got a really good show, and try to remember to be here at 5 o'clock, or better yet, don't leave. We've had Joey Tuccio on a number of times. Joey runs an organization called It Starts With One, and he is devoting his work these days to rescuing dogs who are being tortured and experimented on Skid Row. He's come on with us a number of times. He's been written about. He's got some TV coverage, and the psychotic mental patients and drug addicts do drug testing on dogs to see if the dogs die from the drugs. And they do other bizarre experiments. They treat them terribly, and dogs have been maimed, tortured, killed, all over Skid Row. We've talked about this probably a dozen times since April, and Karen Bass does nothing. Nithya Raman does nothing. And, of course, that's a big district for Nithya Raman. Remember, she fraudulently made it to the finals by magically having thousands of homeless residents on Skid Row vote for her. She couldn't win her own district, but she won Skid Row. Well, pretty shocking news, because after Raman's been ignoring Joey Tuccio for months now, he sent us this message. It says, "Hey, Nithya Raman came to my house and we talked. I would love to talk about it with John." So we're going to do that at 5 o'clock. All right. We're going to have Joey Tuccio to talk about this visit to his house that Nithya Raman made. Meantime, I understand Karen Bass called the police on Joey Tuccio, but we'll have Joey tell all these stories coming up at 5 o'clock. Los Angeles Times had another good one. This one is so absurd, I found myself laughing. You may want to punch your fist through the windshield of your car. If you're working that right now and you're working today, you know a percentage of your tax money goes to fund all of the criminal operations in the homeless industry. Well, LA Times came up with a doozy today. A writer named Audrey McGlinchey found a woman by the name of Carol Adelkoff, and she's been running a homeless shelter, this same one, for over 40 years. It's called 1736 Family Crisis Center. And it's not just a homeless shelter, right? I mean, that's noble enough. That gives you moral protection from any criticism and gives you a shield to make exorbitant amounts of money. Not only that, it's a domestic violence shelter. And this is important here. So she's running a domestic violence shelter for women who are homeless because they're getting beat up by their husbands and boyfriends. Now, you do that, and that makes you impervious to any scrutiny or criticism. But the LA Times investigated anyway and found out that this lady, Carol Adelkoff, by the way, 94% of her money comes from you, the taxpayer. She, in the last 2 years, has made $1.6 million. $1.6 million in 2 years. Not only in salary, which is $400,000 a year, but in 2024, she earned $742,000 total because she had all this unused vacation time. So $742,000, but the year before was even better. In 2023, she made $907,000, including a $500,000 bonus. The bonus was larger than her base salary. The next year it was the vacation payout of almost $350,000. You add it all up, and Carol Adikoff made $1.6 million in 2 years. Now, she was interviewed by the LA Times and a bit defensive. She said, well, her salary just didn't jump like that. Her base salary has remained at $405,000, which means her vacation payout has totaled over $800,000 over the last 2 years. That's a lot of vacation. And you're probably thinking, well, look at that. She's been working for 42 years, never taking a vacation. How selfless, how noble, how wonderful, caring for homeless victims of domestic violence. Well, not so much. You know where she lives and has lived for almost 25 years? Hawaii, on the Big Island. Yes, you talk about telecommuting. Carol Adikoff, in addition to collecting $1.6 million of your money, she owns and lives in a 307 square foot home on the Big Island, her primary residence since at least 2015. And she's owned the house since 2002. Used to live in Palos Verdes. So she doesn't have to take a vacation. She lives a vacation. She's not in the thick of things dealing with all these poor battered women and their angry husbands and boyfriends. That's for her staff to deal with. She is in the sunshine in Hawaii, thousands of miles away. Although her nonprofit claims she works an average of 70 hours a week. Is it possible to work 70 hours a week when you live in Hawaii and your actual business is thousands of miles away? You talk about a racket here. Now, she tried to explain why she has to live in Hawaii. And yes, she uses the women who are getting beat up as a shield, which is what you'd expect. She told the LA Times that since she works for an organization that helps people escape abusers, she could become a target, and that keeping her location secret was a matter of security. She won't even confirm the state, but the Times found other ways. So she wouldn't admit to being in Hawaii because it's a security matter. Now, I found that funny because she's not the one under threat. The women are the ones under threat. The women with the abusive, obsessive husbands and boyfriends. They're the ones who can get beat up and killed. Those guys aren't going after Carol Adikoff. They're going after Carol's clients who don't have the luxury to go hide in Hawaii for the rest of their lives. Do you believe this? But Carol says, oh, no, I'm in danger. I have to go to Hawaii. And so she did. So she doesn't have to take a vacation. Instead, she could rack up $800,000 in unused vacation time on top of the $800,000 that she made in her salary the last 2 years. And meantime, this Family Crisis Center gets millions of dollars from the taxpayer every year in Los Angeles. And, they're a big deal with celebrities. They had a celebrity poker tournament in Manhattan Beach to raise money. As Adikoff's salary increased, the revenue dropped. It peaked at $18 million. In 2023, it dropped to $13 million. Well, that was the year Adikoff's salary jumped to almost $1 million. So she gets a big cut of the money that comes through taxes and the goody goods, including the celebrity goody goods, who think they're doing a wonderful thing for the abused women. Well, you could do a more wonderful thing for the abused women if the woman running the place hadn't run off with the millions of dollars and now has a luxurious life in Hawaii. But this is the industry. This is the racket. You might be stuck in 95-degree heat today, and you may be stuck in a massive traffic jam, and you're late to get home, and dinner's going to be cold. You might be working overtime. But Carol Edelkoff has some of your money, and she's enjoying Hawaii today. That's what you vote for. More coming up. In for Deborah Mark, we have Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. The man charged with starting a wildfire in Spokane, Washington, has now confessed to the crime. A Republican-led Senate panel wants Dr. Anthony Fauci charged with contempt of Congress, and LA Philharmonic director Gustavo Dudamel will be featured in a PBS Kids special. We'll have more news at the bottom of the hour. Check your drive on the 110 next.
Summer is winding down, but there's time for one more home upgrade. This month, August, American Vision Windows wants to help you finish your home projects before fall. Here's a deal. Pick two of the following offers: either free expert installation, free sound package, free upgrade to Sun Matrix, or they pay your tax, or no interest, no payments for 18 months. You pick two of those, and you will get a stunning, energy-efficient set of windows that improve how you feel, your comfort, the curb appeal of your home, lower your energy bills. They've installed over 1 million windows, and American Vision Windows has earned the trust of homeowners across California. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Call or see website for details. Offer ends August 31st. AmericanVisionWindows.com. Call 888-771-2188. 888-771-2188.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today. Highs in the upper 70s to mid 80s from the beaches to downtown LA. Mid 80s to 100 in the valleys. This report's brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Actually, this one's brought to you by iHeartAdvertising.com. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Let's go to a crash on the 110 in downtown LA.
This is on the southbound side, and it's coming right up on 8th Street. That's where the right lane is blocked, and the delays on that 110 southbound backing up all the way out of Elysian Park, away from Stadium Way, beyond the scene of the crash. You still have some pretty heavy traffic all the way to Manchester Avenue. Northbound 110 slowing from the 105 and stretches all the way back towards the 5 freeway. And it's looking pretty slow right now along the 210 eastbound out of Pasadena. You're on the brakes from Mountain and stretches all the way to Foothill Boulevard. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
When it comes to banking, are all your eggs in one basket? What happens when your card doesn't work and you have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number? Or your wallet is stolen? Who's going to be the reliable source when you need the money? New cards or the assurance that your money is safe? Well, you want to rest assured you don't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. You can call the bank president, Victor Guerrero. I did. He'll set up a new account for you today. He did for me. 657-223-1000. Call Victor at 657-223-1000. And for a limited time only, don't miss out on one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account. Infinity Bank.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
This report is sponsored by Think It Up. Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Celebrate the culture of El Salvador with the Dodgers on August 11th as they take on the Royals. With the purchase of a special ticket pack, you'll receive an exclusive Salvadoran Heritage Night jersey. Don't miss out on our live music and performances in Centerfield Plaza. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
Love your legs again. Feel incredible. Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
I always had the excruciating foot pains. I would have to sit down just watching people go by you. With my Good Feet Art Supports, I don't have to worry, oh no, we have to wait for him again. Now I'm going to run it right by you and I'll pass you up.
We have 11 area locations. Find the one closest to you at goodfeet.com.
No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges, no monthly fees. iHeartRadio is different. It's 100% free. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
Want more than just awareness for your business? An iHeartMedia partnership can help drive action through sweepstakes, ticket giveaways, listener contesting, and local media. Attach your business to music moments built to grow awareness, engagement, and leads. Get started today. Call 844-844-iHeart.
Run a business and not thinking about podcasting? Think again. More Americans listen to podcasts than ad-supported streaming music from Spotify and Pandora. And as the #1 podcaster, iHeart's twice as large as the next two combined. Learn how podcasting can help your business at iHeartAdvertising.com.
Tim Conway Jr.
A plank in the Democratic Socialist platform is to abolish and get rid of Thanksgiving.
Tonight, 6 to 10 on KFI AM 640.
I'm with them. I'm becoming a socialist. I'm becoming a democratic socialist. And all you heathens that are still into the republic and this economy and this free nation, F off.
This is KFI. More stimulating talk.
A lot of apps like to say they're free until they ask for your credit card. iHeartRadio is different. No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio. KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's Conway Show. Today after 6 o'clock, you remember the movie The Exorcist, right? Linda Blair? Well, she has 250 dogs in Acton, and that's a bigger story. And we're going to talk about it today after 6 because somebody thinks she has way too many dogs, but she's really helping these dogs out. So that's all today after 6 on the Conway Show.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Bank. That's BANK. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI. We find the word here. Bank. Bank. Enter that at KFIAM640.com/cash. If you win, you'll get an email. Check your junk and spam folder and listen to KFI for the winning keyword every hour, every weekday from 9:20 in the morning all the way to 5:20 in the afternoon. Next chance to win with me is at 4:20 on KFI. What did I do here? I seem to have lost. Oh, here we go. Okay. I am back now connected. We are, as I told you, we're going to have Joey Tuccio on, who is desperately trying to save all the dying dogs on Skid Row that are being experimented on and tortured by the insane mental patient, drug addict, homeless people. Nithya Raman came over his house and they talked. And he wants to tell us the story. So that's going to be after 5 o'clock. Now, Nithya Raman wants voters to trust the city to her, that she should be entrusted with the city of Los Angeles. But she can't even get a restroom opened in Runyon Canyon. Runyon Canyon's in the Hollywood Hills, one of the most popular hiking spots in the city of LA. It's in Nithya Raman's district, and there's a public restroom which cost almost $1 million. And it was supposed to be completed April or May, be open by this summer, but there's still fencing around. We're going to play you this report here by Fox 11 reporter Matthew Seedorf.
New questions swirling over the controversial nearly $1 million bathroom in Runyon Canyon.
Here it is.
In February, the prefabricated building was wheeled in. Now, 6 months later, the doors are still locked, and some can barely hold in their frustration.
I've had some close calls, but, I had to improvise, but that's all I'll say because I don't want to incriminate myself.
According to the Council District 4 website, construction began in January and was expected to take about 15 weeks, putting completion in April or May.
They're about 4 months behind schedule, and I'm here every day and never see people working on it.
Now, the 2 stalls, sinks, sidewalks, even the lights gates all appear in place, but the fencing is still up.
A lot of things like that happen in California, where a lot of money gets poured in and a lot of time goes by and we don't see the results that we hoped for.
Makes me wonder, dude, it's like, are they, appropriately putting the funding, where they need to put it?
Earlier this year, Councilwoman and now mayoral candidate Nithya Raman's office told Fox 11 the restroom was paid for through a grant and would improve infrastructure for the roughly 2 million people who visit Runyon each year.
Doesn't look like it cost $1 million. I don't think it's ever going to actually be finished.
Now, months after it was expected to open, many are asking why the new public restroom remains behind locked gates.
We have to, you go somewhere, and we're not animals, so they got to finish it soon. They paid a lot of money for that.
There's zero transparency, zero follow through. It's very odd.
We've asked city officials for an update in what's causing this possible delay. So far tonight, we're still waiting to hear back.
Well, what's causing the delay? They're stupid, lazy, and they don't care. We'll start with those three. Stupid, lazy, don't care. This is Nithya Raman's district. You're expecting to get something done? Oh, you just wait till she becomes mayor. You just wait. Now, I love the attitude of some of the people interviewed by Matthew Seedorf. It's like, oh, yeah, it really should have been done by now. It makes you wonder what's going on. I was blown away that it was a prefabricated restroom. So, and they installed it like 6 months ago. And then it just sits there. They didn't even have to construct it on site. And they say it's from a grant. That would be a grant of tax money, wouldn't it? If it's not a grant of tax money, I wish somebody would say so. But the point is the same. Well, why can't you open the thing up? Oh, and the woman who said, oh, well, it seems to be that way in California because you let it become that way. Nithya Raman can't open a toilet. You realize? Somebody gave Nithya Raman 6 months to open a toilet and she couldn't do it. Hey, why don't you run the whole city? What's your big issue? What's your big issue? What's your experience? Oh, yeah, running the homelessness committee. Oh, good. Well, that's shot up considerably, hasn't it? What an all-around success this bubblehead is. Can't open a toilet. This seems to happen in California. Boy, how about a little energy to get rid of these people? How about a little realization is that they're stealing your money, that they're running a criminal operation, and you're funding the criminal operation? Does it ever hit anybody? Oh, why does this always happen in California? I don't understand. Oh, my God. Those people are dumber than the toilet. When we come back, we're going to talk with Royal Oaks ABC News legal analyst Anthony Fauci. They voted that's right. Royal's coming up later in the show. Carl DeMaio, excuse me. We've got so much good stuff today. And Carl's going to talk about the lawsuit that he filed for Prop 39, the voter ID law. And Rob Bonta, the Attorney General, rewrote the title and summary to try to depress the yes vote. And Carl sued, and we'll learn more on what's going on. But first, we have Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
The guy charged with starting a wildfire in Spokane, Washington, has confessed to starting it. A detective who interviewed Aaron Farinacci says he told him he'd planned the Old Trails fire for about 2 weeks. Farinacci researched the weather to predict a day that would have high winds, low humidity, and high heat. He also researched a well-known serial arsonist and brought things to make a time delay device for igniting a fire. The Old Trails fire is one of 3 burning in the Spokane area. The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite. Republicans on the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee have voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. Chairman Rand Paul says it'll now be delivered to the Attorney General for further consideration.
It's the committee's verdict that he should be held in contempt and it will be sent. But no one said that we won't bring it before the Senate. We'll see what happens over time.
Paul says he'll deliver the vote to the Justice Department for further consideration. A family is suing a mortuary in Montebello over a botched embalming.
Attorneys for the family and Risher Mortuary and Cremation Service have told a judge that they're going to go through mediation next month toward a possible settlement. Santos Ramos died in 2024. Risher Mortuary was paid more than $4,100 to embalm and prepare his body, which was then shipped to Mexico for the funeral. The lawsuit says Ramos's remains for the viewing in Mexico were in a state of notorious and advanced decomposition with liquids discharging from his face. A post-mediation meeting is scheduled for November. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Los Angeles Philharmonic Music and Artistic Director Gustavo Dudamel is hitting the national stage.
Dudamel will conduct Camille Saint-Saëns' Carnival of the Animals live with the Los Angeles Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl. It'll premiere November 16th on PBS Kids and PBS stations nationwide. The animated special tells the story of a young hero searching for a stolen lion's crown while introducing children to Saint-Saëns' orchestral suite through music rather than dialogue. The special also includes a short introduction narrated by Dudamel's 15-year-old son, Martine. Amy King, KFI News.
We'll check your drive on the 10 next.
Inheriting a home can be overwhelming. You've got repairs. You got the time it takes to get everything ready to sell it, and it's more trouble than it's worth. So call Seller's Advantage. Here's a real customer who said, we had an inheritance from a relative. It would have taken us a lot of time, money, and headaches to get the property in shape to sell. I heard about Seller's Advantage from radio commercials and gave them a try. Their offer was reasonable. We accepted it, and they took care of all the physical effort and legal complexities. We closed within 3 weeks. No matter what your reason for selling, call Seller's Advantage, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-2747, sellersadvantage.com. Get your free no-obligation cash offer.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRA number 01961658, Providence Realty, DRA number 01915212.
SoCal weather from KFI, sunny today with highs in the upper 70s to mid 80s for Metro LA and OC, mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches, mid 80s to around 100 in the valleys. Right now it's 84 in Carson, 102 in Palmdale. Let's go to a crash on the 10 in Pomona.
This one's along the eastbound side, and it's coming up at White Avenue. That is where they've been blocking the left lane and the drive. That 10 eastbound loads up all the way from just about Via Verde. So it's pretty tough out there. The 71 southbound's also slow moving, leaving the 10, heading towards Mission, and northbound is loading up from about Rio Rancho Road, traveling back towards Mission. The Cajon Pass 15 northbound, backing up from the 215 merge, better by the 138, and the drive in Corona for the South 15 loads up at the 91 freeway. Delays ahead towards El Cerrito Road. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen Kay is a brand new podcast, heartbreak, hope, and a whole lot of what would you do? Stream now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, it's Conway here for Cars for Kids. We've donated 2 vehicles to Cars for Kids, and man, was it easy. Cars for Kids has been around for 30 years, and they know what they're doing. I recently saw firsthand one of their summer programs going on right now where they have over 1,400 kids. I saw hundreds of kids in the camp, and they couldn't thank Cars for Kids enough for making this incredible opportunity possible. So when you donate a car, you're helping real kids thrive this summer. CarsForKids.org. 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. KARS Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit smiletunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
This is CEOs You Should Know with Division President of iHeartMedia, Paul Corvino.
Today I'm here with Carla Hassan, the Chief Marketing Officer of JP Morgan Chase, a brand most people know and interact with every day. And let me ask you, Chase is one of the most recognized brands in the world. How do you build trust, which is the most important thing, I would think, for building a brand for a bank? How do you build trust with customers every day?
It's actually the only thing we have is trust. When it comes to your money, you got people who are saving for the first time. You have people who are sending their kids to university for the first time. For us, it's how we show up every single day, not just from a marketing perspective, right? We've got over 5,000 branches where people actually walk into the branches and they're looking for help. And so arguably one of the first places that our brand shows up is in how our bankers actually treat our customers and our clients.
Listen to CEOs You Should Know on the iHeartRadio app.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com. Getting you back to your life pursuit. Hoag Orthopedic Institute. Call 1-800-919-2000.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
After an accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? Wilshire Law Firm brings clarity when things feel uncertain. While you focus on healing, we fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. Call now, 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
I'm Duncan Newman, owner of Newman Windows and Doors.
And I'm Maria Newman. When you choose Newman, you get more than new windows. You get our 7-point promise. Certified craftsmen only, no subcontractors, transparent pricing guaranteed, and more.
Right now, buy 2 Milgard vinyl windows and get 1 Milgard window free, plus our lifetime installation guarantee. At Newman, we finish it right. Period. No excuses.
Ask about our fire recovery program, 8777-NEWMAN or NewmanWindows.com.
Restrictions apply. License number 570472. Offer ends August 31st, 2026.
Teachers make a difference each and every day. Now's your chance to say thanks. iHeartRadio's Thank a Teacher, powered by Donors Choose. Nominate an outstanding public school teacher who goes above and beyond for students. They could be one of our $5,000 winners for classroom supplies and resources. Teachers give so much. Now it's our turn to give back. Nominate a teacher now at iHeartRadio.com/teachers.
Hey, follow us on all the things at KFI AM 640.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. Hey, Moist Line is tomorrow, right? How's the Moist Line doing?
We got some room.
Some room. So come and join the ranters and ravers and crazy people on the Moist Line. It's like a recorded mental institution. 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or use the talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app. That's tomorrow. Got the John Kobylt Show here. We're on from 3 to 6. We're live on X, live on YouTube, the video. And now we're going to talk to Carl DeMaio. Prop 39 is going to be on the ballot in November, thanks to the efforts of Carl and his organization, Reform California. And it's going to require voter ID, to give you the shortest explanation possible. And Newsom and Bonta don't want that because it'll expose how many fraudulent votes their party gets every election. So Rob Bonta has done a devious thing. He's rewritten the title and summary to depress the yes vote. And Carl and his organization went to court. We're going to talk to Carl now to see how that's progressing. Is the decision still coming tomorrow, Carl?
Doubt.
Wait, start again. We weren't connected.
It should be any moment. Literally, we had our first court hearing 30 minutes ago. And now the ballot title hearing is before Judge Rockwell right now. It started at 3:30. And as I said, we expected Rob Bonta and California Democrats to play their dirty tricks because they know that Prop 39 is overwhelmingly supported by not only Republican voters, but a supermajority of independents, even a majority of Democratic voters in California know that this is common sense. This is a balanced approach, a bipartisan approach to get voter ID done, to restore trust and confidence. And they did polling. The Democrats did polling, and they can see it. They can see that the voters want this. So what they're trying to do is manipulate the election by rigging the ballot title. And we are suing because, number one, this is unjust. It is corrupt. And when your government does something unjust and corrupt, you got to fight, even if it's a long shot. But number two, even if we lose the court case today, which I think odds are we're going to lose, and it's not because we're not right. It's not because this thing is not insanely corrupt and dishonest, but because the liberal judges in California always side and err to give deference to the politicians that have appointed them. And so we've sued before on ballot titles and not been successful. But I told my coalition, even if it's a long shot, it's a shot we must take. That being said, John, even with this horrifically deceptive and biased rigged title, we still can win Prop 39. I think voters, when they see the deceptive title, they'll take a closer look and then realize, wait a minute. This is the voter ID initiative. It's not what Bonta is saying it is. And so, you know what? I'm going to vote for this thing because I'm angry that he's trying to mislead me. Now, I guess we should back up about the title.
Yeah, explain how you wrote it and how he rewrote the title.
So our initiative was very simple: voter ID, citizenship verification. So when we filed a year ago, Bonta did not think we were going to get the signatures. So he gave us a ballot title already. A year ago, he gave us a ballot title when he didn't think this was going to go on the ballot. It said requires voter identification and citizenship verification. And so that's a fair title. It's a mouthful, but it's a fair title. Then we got the signatures, John. We got it on the ballot. And Rob Bonta and the Democrats looked at each other saying, well, we didn't expect this. We gave them a good title, or at least a decent title, so we got to change the title now that they have secured a spot on the ballot in November. So they changed it from Voter Identification Initiative to, ready for this? Prohibit citizens from voting. That's the first 4 words of the title.
Prohibits citizens from voting. Yeah. Now, so I think people need to know he changed his own title. He's the one
who changed his own title. That's how corrupt this is. That's how dishonest this is. And so by all rights, voters deserve an impartial title, a simple description, and an honest election. But that's not what they get in California, John. You've talked about this for decades. You know that they have been increasingly manipulating the ballot titles to try to skew the vote to what the politicians want. And hopefully more voters are going to wake up and say, this is BS. We don't want this sort of manipulation in our elections. And I hope that they will vote yes on Prop 39 just because of the manipulation.
Yeah. He looked at it and said, well, I gave them a neutral title. They shouldn't be upset. And then he realized, wait, this is popular. I can't give them a neutral title. I've got to skew it with incendiary language.
Yeah, prohibits citizens from voting. And actually, our initiative is quite the contrary. We secure people's votes by ensuring that only legitimate, only citizens are able to cast votes. Because, John, when a fraudulent vote is counted, or when a non-citizen, an illegal immigrant, somehow casts a ballot, that cancels out every fraudulent vote, every illegal immigrant vote will cancel out a legitimate vote of a citizen. This is not about preventing anyone who's legitimately entitled to vote to vote. In fact, we believe that our initiative makes things much more simple when it comes to voting, because you don't need signatures anymore, because you have the last 4 digits of the voter ID. You've got your cleaning up the voter rolls. This is a very common sense measure, and that's what terrifies them.
I know you saw probably that clip yesterday of Zohran Mamdani telling New York City residents that if they use his city-run grocery stores, they have to bring ID.
Oh, you have to bring ID for everything. Remember, just a few years ago, you had to show your COVID-19 vaccination card to walk into places.
To go to a restaurant. To sit down at a restaurant, I had to show my vaccine card.
The vaccine card. We are simply saying that our elections matter. Our elections need to have the highest level of public trust and confidence. And let me tell you, I don't care whether voter ID benefits Democrats or Republicans. It actually doesn't benefit any political party in particular. It benefits our voters. It benefits our democracy because too many people believe conspiracy theories. Too many people look at the shoddy way we do elections, and they've just given up voting. And we cannot be a healthy democracy with that many people convinced that it's rigged.
All right. So the hearing is going on now, and you think you'll get some kind of preliminary decision very soon?
Yeah. Again, I want you to brace yourselves. I don't expect it to be a favorable outcome because even if the judge says, this is crazy, this ballot title is deceptive, the Democrats will still appeal to the California Supreme Court. And the California Supreme Court has ruled now 3 times in a row, first in 2018, then in 2020, then in 2022, that whatever the Attorney General wants to say about an initiative, the Attorney General gets to say.
That's unbelievable.
There are no guardrails. There's no protections for voters. We are literally at the whim of these politicians trying to manipulate our votes. That's why I tell people, pay attention to the fine print and get the plain English voter guide that we publish at reformcalifornia.org. But I felt we needed to file this suit, John, because even if it's a long shot, when corruption happens, you fight it. And then you draw attention to it, and hopefully the voters will be more informed.
Carl DeMaio, if you get a decision, call us back. We'll talk with you later.
We will let you know. Thank you so much.
All right. Carl DeMaio, Reform California and Republican Assemblyman out of San Diego. Coming up after 4 o'clock, we're going to talk with Royal Oaks, ABC News, and Anthony Fauci is being referred to the Department of Justice potentially because a committee today held him in contempt for not answering questions, taking the Fifth Amendment 111 times. We'll talk more about that, too. In for Deborah Mark today, we have Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. The South Coast Air Quality Management District Board has approved an abatement order on the owners of the warehouse that burned in Boyle Heights. An air traffic control outage has caused airspace to shut down over several states. And new research shows AI is now being used by home care agencies across the U.S. We'll have more news at the top of the hour. We'll check your drive on the 405 next.
Want to sell your home? You call Seller's Advantage. They're going to make you a cash offer. Buy your home as is. No need for repairs. As is for cash. They'll close in days. They might offer you a $10,000 advance to help you move. Go read their reviews and call for a no-obligation offer now. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. SellersAdvantage.com. Let's all say.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRA number 01961658. Providence Realty DRA number 01915212.
Let's go to a crash on the 405 in Long Beach.
This one's on the southbound side, and it's reported just before the 710 freeway. I'd say it's a little closer to Wilmington Avenue, but it was a motorcycle down. Left lane had been blocked, or middle lane had been blocked with the motorcycle. All the other actions off to the right shoulder. Big delays here are pushing back out of El Segundo, getting away from the 105 freeway. That northbound side of the 710. Solid out of Long Beach from the south end of the 710 freeway coming off a shoreline. You've got a slow drive all the way to the 91 and a crash just before the 91 freeway that they're clearing off to the shoulder. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
You hear that? Listen. You know what that is? That's my phone. No spam calls. No spam texts. Silence. Your phone? Probably not so quiet. And here's why. Data brokers are selling your personal information like it's on clearance. Your phone number, home address, email, family members. They're selling your family members, political affiliations, even where you bank. The scammers are blowing up your phone. It's not luck. They bought your information, and they're going to keep buying it over and over again until you make it stop. I did with Incogni's help. Incogni. INCOGNI. They automatically remove your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people search sites. In my case, 324 of them. Incogni sends the legal removal requests. They follow up and keep monitoring so your information has stayed off those lists. And they've done that for me too. If scammers can't find you, they cannot target you. If they can't find you, they can't bother you. Get 60% off right now at Incogni.com/KFI. Incogni.com/KFI.
This is Doug Gottlieb. Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
NFL running backs continue to play Can You Top This? And the Lions' Jahmyr Gibbs certainly has. He's now the highest paid at the position after agreeing to a 3-year, $67.5 million deal that could be worth up to $76 million. Earlier today, the Colts' Jonathan Taylor got 2 years and $44 million. Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, and Paige Beckers among those named to the Team USA roster for the FIBA World Cup next month. I'm Frank Aaron.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart. This report is sponsored by Aleve. At some point, body pain may creep in and become your reality that day. But Aleve is here to keep you moving. One pill gives you up to 12 hours of body pain relief. So don't let pain hold you back. Try Aleve today. Use as directed.
Toyota's national sales event is on, and now's the time to find your new Toyota. Whether you're looking for the capability of a Tacoma or Tundra, the efficiency of a Camry or Corolla, or the versatility of a RAV4, there's a Toyota built for you. With low lease payments and APRs on our most popular models, now's the perfect time to get yours. But don't wait. Toyota National Sales Event ends soon. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
What can you do at Toyota.com? Better question, what can't you do? Because at Toyota.com, you can check out our latest models, search our inventory, and see our latest offers. You can even build and price your new Toyota right online, picking the exact model and color that's right for you. Whether you just want to download a brochure or you're ready to buy, all things Toyota are at Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
iHeart Radio.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, coming up on the next Bill Handel show, California's trying to make shapes illegal.
Hey, don't you look at that triangle. That's illegal.
I know, stupid. AB 2047 is what we'll be talking about. That's coming up tomorrow morning after 7 on the next Bill Handel show.
Can't find AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show Hour live on X. We're live on YouTube, the video. And also, we're on the iHeartRadio app just after 6 o'clock tonight, the podcast, John Kobylt Show on Demand, same as this radio show. In a few minutes, Eileen's going to do the news. And then we've got Royal Oaks coming on from ABC News, the legal analyst. Fauci has been referred to the Department of Justice for contempt for not answering questions of the Senate Homeland Security Committee. If you remember, he invoked the Fifth Amendment 111 times. I can't believe how many people are whining and they want to hold a pity party for Anthony Fauci. This guy sent our tax money to that Wuhan lab, and that money helped develop the virus that killed 1 million people here in America. And he's lied about it ever since, or covered it up ever since. You don't want that? He shouldn't answer questions? He got a full pardon from Joe Biden. I've never seen anybody get a full pardon, and he still invoked the Fifth Amendment 111 times? Good Lord. Oh, and clearly he told a lot of lies. Just look at excerpts from his diary. He was saying one thing in public and another thing in private. All his recommendations that we were tortured with, from masks to 6-foot distances, to the vaccine is going to stop the spread. It didn't. To the vaccine is going to protect us. Well, It protected us for a few months until the variation hit. It was all wrong. Some of it were outright lies. Well, why do people have such feel such reverence towards them? I'm totally baffled by this. I saw another couple of masks this morning. Again, as soon as I went into Santa Monica. They ought to erect a fence around Santa Monica and send a team of emergency mental technicians in there. Good Lord. I've never seen such crazy people like the Santa Monica people. They actually walk around with masks still. And then if they've got like blue hair or green hair, almost 100% they're wearing a mask. You see a lot of them are grown women, right? Or adult women. And they have multicolored hair, like you could see a little kid having. And then they wear the masks and they're making a point of some kind. Mental institution. Oh, and that doesn't even count all the drug addicts in the streets. Fauci got another blow today. A Senate panel has a copy of the doctor's iPhone. This is the Senate Homeland Security Subcommittee. Senator Ron Johnson is the head of it. So not only do they have his diary, his journals, now they have his cell phone, and they're going to see what's on there. Maybe there's lots of damaging text messages, or they could see who he was calling. I tell you, one person he was calling was one of Gavin Newsom's top aides, because Fauci bragged about it in his diaries that he convinced the Newsom administration to impose really harsh restrictions on us, and so that's why our schools were closed, and your kids have brain damage, and thousands of businesses were shut down and were bankrupted. Yeah. Fauci admits to making the call, and Newsom, dumb as he is, went along with it. So I'm happy to see him in contempt of Congress. I'm happy to see him humiliated this way, because he did a tremendous amount of damage, and he demanded that everybody trust him. Most people did, and what did you get for it? So this is retribution, this is vengeance, and I'm going to enjoy all of it. Royal Oaks is going to come on and talk about the legal aspect of this when we come back. Deborah Mark off today. Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Abatement order approved. I'm Eileen Gonzalez live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The South Coast Air Quality Management District Board has approved an abatement order on the owners of the warehouse that burned in Boyle Heights. The board will require additional odor control measures during the ongoing cleanup of the site. People from Boyle Heights and East LA and elected officials have been lobbying regulators to approve the order against Lineage Logistics. Lineage will have to power wash and disinfect the concrete floors in the warehouse after food waste and other hazardous materials have rotted inside for the last 7 weeks. The news is brought to you by Pacific Coast Termite. Airspace has been shut down over several states because of an air traffic control outage. ABC's Sam Sweeney says a system outage happened at the Minneapolis Air Traffic Control Center.
Usually, it happens for just a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes. This is much longer. It seems much more severe, and also not just radars, but the frequencies, the channels, if you will, that the air traffic controllers are able to talk to the aircraft on.
He says that control center covers more than 330,000 square miles. The man arrested in Rancho Palos Verdes before President Trump's visit is a Marine veteran.
Downey resident Janine John Taylor was arrested on Sunday near the Trump National Golf Club in Rancho Palos Verdes. That was 2 days before Trump spoke at an RNC fundraiser at the golf course. Taylor is facing both state and federal charges for possession of an unregistered short-barreled rifle. Taylor was a U.S. Marine who was deployed to Iraq in 2008 and Afghanistan in 2010 and worked as a warehouse clerk. He was a corporal in the Marines, serving from 2008 to 2016. He was also a security guard who was licensed to carry guns, but those licenses were recently canceled. Daniel Martindale, KFI News.
An underground garbage fire discovered years ago is growing and multiplying.
Environmental regulators say oxygen was somehow sent underground at the Chiquita Canyon landfill. They say that caused the decades-old waste to rapidly decompose, generating intense heat and widespread smoldering, which is pushing toxic gases and hazardous liquid waste to the surface. Nearby communities have complained about the stench and health issues as the underground fire has tripled in size since the discovery 3 years ago. Chiquita Canyon closed and stopped taking new garbage in 2024, but the fire is expected to last for years. State regulators say at least 2 other landfills are dealing with similar conditions. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
The National Council on Aging has released research showing artificial intelligence is being used by home care agencies across the U.S. The council's Nicole Howell tells KFI AI is being used for things like fall detection and medication management, plus staffing decisions and care planning.
Thanks to so much innovation, we are living longer and need more care. And unfortunately, there just is not the amount of caregivers to meet that demand. And so artificial intelligence has entered the space.
She says when used responsibly, AI can improve safety and quality of care, but when used poorly, it can put vulnerable people at risk. No one matched all 6 winning Powerball numbers from last night's drawing. That pushes the jackpot even closer to $1 billion. Saturday night's jackpot will be worth an estimated $856 million. We'll check your drive on the 5 next.
If you're looking to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage, and they're going to make you a cash offer. No need for repairs. They'll close in days. They buy with cash, as is. And they might offer you a $10,000 advance to help you move. Go read their reviews online. Call for a no-obligation offer, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658, Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
SoCal weather from KFI. Sunny today. Highs in the upper 70s to mid 80s for Metro LA and OC. Mid 70s to around 80 at the beaches. Mid 80s to around 100 in the valleys and IE. Lower 90s to around 100 in the high desert. Tonight, mostly clear in the evening, then partly cloudy with lows in the upper 60s. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then sunny with highs in the 80s to around 90. Right now, it's 92 in Diamond Bar, 95 in Monrovia, 83 in Santa Ana, and 99 in Agora Hills. The KFI Financial Update is brought to you by Supershore, supershore.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed down 464, S&P down 13, and NASDAQ closed down 15. Let's go to the 5 in Arletta. Watch out for a stall there.
Along the southbound side past Terabella, they've just cleared a stall out of lanes. That's great. But now traffic is recovering away from Brand Boulevard. That northbound side of the 5 slowing out of Sun Valley. That's where traffic loads up at Tuxford Street. You're on the brakes all the way towards the 14. The 14 northbound in Santa Clarita slowing in stretches, leaving the 5. Looking a lot better once you pass Sand Canyon Road. And let's also take a look at the drive in Diamond Bar, 57 northbound, slowing down at Diamond Bar Boulevard towards the 60. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Free shouldn't come with a catch. With iHeartRadio, it doesn't. No monthly fees, no trial periods. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the free iHeartRadio app now.
Hey, it's Conway here for Cars for Kids. We've donated 2 vehicles to Cars for Kids, and man, was it easy. Cars for Kids has been around for 30 years, and they know what they're doing. I recently saw firsthand one of their summer programs going on right now where they have over 1,400 kids. I saw hundreds of kids in the camp, and they couldn't thank Cars for Kids enough for making this incredible opportunity possible. So when you donate a car, you're helping real kids thrive this summer. CarsForKids.org. 1-877-CARS for Kids, KARS Cars for Kids, That's cars with a K.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival
Presented by Capital One.
is coming back to Las Vegas.
September 18th and 19th at T-Mobile Arena.
Stream it live on Disney Plus and Hulu. And keep listening for the next chance to win your way to be there.
Starting Monday.
The iHeartRadio Music Festival is connecting all of us.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
KFI AM 640.
An iHeartRadio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. It's the John Kobylt Show. It's good that you're here. We're on from 3 to 6. And after 6 o'clock, whatever you missed is in the podcast, John Kobylt Show on demand. Lots of people listen then. You can listen to it tonight or tomorrow morning or whenever. And we're live on YouTube. You can watch the video. Live video on YouTube or X. Go to youtube.com/@John Kobylt Show to subscribe or become a member. We were telling you that the one Senate committee now has gotten a hold of a copy of Anthony Fauci's phone, the cell phone. They're also, another committee is holding him in contempt of Congress. The Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee. This is the one chaired by Rand Paul. And as you know, after getting a full pardon from Joe Biden, he goes before this committee and takes the Fifth Amendment 111 times. Not that he's trying to cover anything up, of course. Can't assume that. Let's get Royal Oakes on, ABC News legal analyst. How are you, Royal?
I'm doing great, John. This is really kind of a procedural thicket that Fauci's gotten himself into because you've been reporting last week that he took the Fifth, and then Rand Paul said, "Well, I'm going to go for contempt of Congress," and he did. This morning the committee voted to find him in contempt of Congress. Normally, Rand Paul would then go to the full Senate, but he knows he can't get the 60 votes you need to overcome a filibuster. So he's really got a couple of options. Rand Paul can just go straight to Jeanine Pirro, who is the U.S. attorney for D.C., and say, "Hey, look at all this stuff we found." He's not answering the question. He's in contempt of Congress, so send him to jail for a year. Or if Rand Paul doesn't do that, actually Pirro, who at this point, as you know, she's in a little hot water with the president over the reflecting pool stuff, she might say, "Hey, I'm just going to prosecute Fauci on my own." So the doctor could be in some hot water.
What would be his defense if he got a full pardon from Joe Biden? How could he explain 111 times invoking the Fifth Amendment?
Yeah, I think he has a pretty weak defense. He's got a couple of arguments. The first argument is, well, okay, I have a get out of jail free card from Joe Biden the day before he left the presidency, but you, Rand Paul, you're on record saying I should be in jail. And here you are asking me questions under oath in 2026, which is after my pardon applies. It only applies to stuff I did when I was COVID guru. So I know what you're up to. You're going to try to catch me in a perjury trap. So I'm taking the Fifth. That argument is kind of weak because, if it applied, for example, let's drift back in time to the O.J. Simpson case. He's on trial for murder. He doesn't testify, takes the Fifth. He wins. Then they sue him for wrongful death. You'll remember, John, he had to testify in that civil case. He could not rely on the Fifth. Why? Because he already had immunity because he was found not guilty. And he didn't say, "Oh, well, gee, what if you find I'm committing perjury in the civil case?" He had to testify. So I think it's a little bit lame for Fauci to try to say, well, what if they go after me for perjury now?
Yeah, I actually saw O.J. testify in that civil trial, but that's a whole nother story. We were in the courtroom that day. So this is where it was kind of murky in my head. You don't have to answer questions if you feel you're going to be incriminating yourself and you end up in jail. But if you do have a pardon, then legally you do have to answer the questions before Congress?
Exactly right. So if you've got a pardon, you have no criminal liability as to the stuff you did while you were the COVID czar. So for Fauci to say, "Oh, what about perjury today?" All Rand Paul has to say is, "Look, I'm I'm not asking you about 2026. I'm asking you about stuff that happened as to when you had a pardon. Why were you saying in your diary that one thing, and under oath to Congress in public a totally different thing? Can you explain it? And as you were pointing out a few minutes ago, he has a lot of explaining to do in terms of having the National Institutes of Health help fund the Wuhan lab. They're allegedly developing this virus, and it leaks out of that as opposed to coming from some bat in a wet market. So, yeah, I think he probably is going to have to testify down the road.
Well, he wrote in his diaries things that are opposite what he said publicly. So how is that not fair game, especially if he got a pardon from Biden?
Yeah, absolutely. It should be fair game. Now, there's one other argument that Fauci is making, and that is this. Well, a presidential pardon only applies to federal crimes. And yes, I've got a nice get-out-of-jail-free card there. But it doesn't apply to state court crimes. And guess what? In the news in the last week or so, 4 states have said, we're kind of going to look at this whole Fauci inconsistency. The diaries say one thing, public statements other. Oklahoma, Florida, Alabama, and Louisiana are all allegedly looking into it. The problem with that is it's so speculative. I mean, if they grill him some more and they say, well, Dr. Fauci, can you point to one state law crime that you think you might be liable for? And by the way, most all of those crimes at the state court level, the statute of limitations, that ship sailed years ago. We're talking about stuff he did in 2020 and 2021. So, yeah, I think he looks really bad at this point. And, the Democrats, they wanted defend him, but he's such a fanboy, he's kind of embarrassing to try to defend him at this point.
Why are they such fanboys? The whole thing is so peculiar. This is really clear cut. But what's the point of still trying to defend him to the death?
Well, it's just a partisan thing. But I mean, the business about Julia Roberts and Barbara Streisand, and I may be the most well-known man in the world. Now, that's not just embarrassing for him. Everybody likes to, everybody liked to be on the Time magazine, as he was talking about. But it raises questions about whether his policies then were really right medically, or even what he thought was right. But instead, were they designed to maximize his exposure? I mean, think about it. You don't get on the cover of Time magazine by saying, oh, this is cool. Let's just protect the old folks and the people, morbidly obese people. Let the kids have a good life in school and out of school. No, you get on the cover of Time by saying the sky is falling and only I can save your life. So he really looks bad all around. So there may be a lot of political repercussions to his refusal to testify. But, inquiring minds want to know, why did you shut down the country when the medical evidence, nobody knew what was happening the first 6 months, but the medical evidence after that was so changing, and it arguably did not justify all the serious restrictions in terms of, shutting. They wouldn't let you walk on the beach. I mean, this is the best place you could be, is walking on the beach, mask or no mask. But Gavin Newsom said, oh, no, Dr. Fauci is right. We've got to hole up, have no social interaction.
Oh, I know. I couldn't play tennis because Eric Garcetti had shut down the public tennis courts in my neighborhood because you could transmit the virus
not to go
through
to the net.
No, through tennis balls. No, seriously. If I touch a tennis ball and my partner touches a tennis ball, and we both end up getting sick and dying, I guess, was the theory.
I guess rubber gloves on the court were the answer. I don't know.
So, just going back to the state thing, what would be state crimes that Fauci might have committed, considering he was giving federal recommendations? How would that become a state crime?
Good question. I don't know that there really are any valid state crimes. I mean, theoretically, some state might say, oh, well, you kind of ruined our state. You shut us down. Look at all the cost. Look at inflicting all the harm on kids and so on. But again, it's so speculative. So I think what it's going to boil down to is a judge may well rule that he does have to testify. Remember, months ago, Bill and Hillary Clinton were in a similar situation. They subpoenaed them to talk to a congressional committee. They said, you don't need a subpoena. You're just doing this because you don't like us, so we're not going to show up. And they threatened congressional contempt, which, by the way, could put Fauci in jail for 1 year if the court says, you were in contempt. What happened after Bill and Hillary clammed up is that they sat down and negotiated. Their lawyers talked to the lawyers for the committee, and they compromised. They ended up talking. So that may be what's going to happen in the next week or so for Fauci.
Yeah, because I thought Rand Paul had crafted the questions so it would fall under the window of the pardon.
He did. It's exactly right. And Fauci looked so bad. Not only would he not answer questions that clearly related to stuff he did that's covered by the pardon, he wouldn't answer any question. Senator Hawley had fun. Dr. Fauci, what's the color of that folder that's sitting in front of you on the desk?
Yeah.
I refuse to answer on the grounds that, it sounded ridiculous.
And the excuse, I'm not going to answer a question because you're trying to trick me. It's like, well, you can't do that. Then nobody would ever answer any questions from any attorney. Of course they're trying to trick you. But if you tell the truth, you don't have to worry about it.
Very lame. He just came across badly in every respect. And of course, the diary thing, some people are sympathetic and they say, it's a private diary. Well, this isn't a 13-year-old with a pink diary with a lock hidden under the mattress. This was on government-issued servers and computers. His government-issued phone, which he handed back the day he left federal employment. We all know that, if you're on the job and you do send some email or text or something, it could come back to bite you because the boss has the right under the law to look at your communication.
Yeah, and he left it on a government server. Royal Oaks, thank you for coming on with us.
You bet. Thanks.
ABC News legal analyst about Fauci possibly being held in contempt of Congress. We've got more news now with Eileen Gonzalez in for Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell has been discharged from a rehabilitation center and is back home. A small public restroom in Runyon Canyon that cost nearly $1 million still hasn't opened. And Spider-Man is breaking records at the box office. We'll have more news at the bottom of the hour. It's slow on the 91 in Carson.
Eastbound side, and that drive is loading up away from Avalon Boulevard. Heavy in stretches, a little slower in a few, all the way into Cerritos. You've got a slight opening until you make your way to the 5 in Buena Park. After that, you're on the brakes all the way to Green River, traveling into Corona. Also slow is the drive in Corona for the 15 southbound, leaving the 91 freeway. That drive is pretty bad all the way towards Temescal Canyon Road. Pasadena, 210 eastbound, loading up from just about the 134 freeway. Delays all the way to Foothill Boulevard and ahead in Upland as you continue towards the 15. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
What if your checking worked as hard as you do? At Premier America Credit Union, we partner with you through every financial goal. With Premier Plus checking, earn 3.5% APY just by using your account for everyday purchases, coffee runs, game nights, even that last-minute dinner out. So why not make your money work while you spend it? Open yours today at premieramerica.com. Don't settle. Earn more with Premier America Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. Terms apply.
This is Sarah Spain with the latest from iHeart Women's Sports.
Presented by iHeartAdvertising.com.
Serena Williams is stepping back onto the court to play doubles with her sister Venus at the Cincinnati Open next week. The pair received a wild card entry. This will mark the first time the sisters have played a doubles match together since 2022. They were supposed to team up at Wimbledon earlier this summer, but had to withdraw after Serena sustained a knee injury in a singles match. For more women's sports stories, subscribe to Good Game with Sarah Spain on iHeart Podcast.
Run a business and not thinking about radio? Think again, because people are listening to radio more today than they did 20 years ago. And only iHeartRadio connects with more Americans than TV, digital, even social. Learn how radio can help your business. Call 844-844-iHeart.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Hey, it's Neil. Summer's winding down, but there's still time for one more home upgrade. This August, American Vision Windows lets you pick any two offers. Free expert installation, free sound package, free upgrade to Sun Matrix. They pay your tax or no interest and no payments for 18 months. Get your project done before fall with your choice of savings. Visit AmericanVisionWindows.com or give them a call, 888-226-9908. That's 888-226-9908. Tell them Neil sent you. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Call or see the website for details. Offer ends August 31st, 2026.
Lose the weight. Feel incredible.
Just call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new iHeart podcast. Real-life drama with real-life consequences and advice that might just save the day. Hear it now on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
If you run a business, you know how hard it is to get your customers' attention. Yet 85% of consumers say radio is the last thing they hear before shopping. Let iHeartRadio help you reach your next customer today at 844-844-iHeart.
Shop Vons and Albertsons for savings on lunch essentials. This week, Nature's Own bread, 20 ounces, selected varieties are $2.99 each with digital coupon. And large yellow peaches, nectarines, or plums are $1.99 a pound with digital coupon on Vons or Albertsons.com.
Toyota's national sales event is here to keep summer going. Get great deals on Toyota's most efficient lineup of hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and electric vehicles. Like the RAV4 hybrid or plug-in hybrid with the power and capability to take you farther. Prius hybrid or plug-in hybrid, offering tech and efficiency for every adventure. Or all-electric BZ with the range to extend your summer play. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
Everything you need to find your perfect Toyota is right at your fingertips at Toyota.com. Explore our full lineup of vehicles. Compare features side by side. Search our available inventory. You can even find the best local offers. Everything you need is just a few clicks away on Toyota.com. So for your next Toyota car, truck, or SUV, just visit Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
I am looking at this dish that I'm going to taste right now. It's sexy as hell, for one. It screams rustic, delicious. Yeah. The minute you see it, you say, not only is that beautiful, but I want that in my pie hole right now.
The Fork Report with Neil Saavedra, Saturday afternoon at 2 on KFI. And on demand anytime on the iHeartRadio app.
A lot of apps like to say they're free until they ask for your credit card. iHeartRadio is different. No required subscriptions, no trial periods, no surprise charges. We make money from our advertisers, not from you. It's the same radio you've never paid for. Live radio stations, playlists, podcasts, and artist stations, all in one app. So if you haven't already, download the free iHeartRadio app. Free radio. Always has been, always will be. Now wherever you go.
iHeartRadio.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
LA Metro's ridership is up, but there are still so many who refuse to go anywhere near it. But what if they sweeten the deal, make it interesting, pay you money? You could get hundreds of dollars just for riding the buses and trains tomorrow at noon on Monks and Merrill. KFI.
$1,000 giveaway. All right. Had your part. $1,000 giveaway. Let's go.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Fun. That's FUN. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI. Fun. KFIAM640.com/cash. That's where you enter the keyword. You'll get an email if you win. Check your junk and spam folder for it too. And there's a winning keyword every hour, every weekday from 9 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon. Next chance to win, 5:20 here on KFI. Javier Becerra is running the most bizarre campaign for governor against Steve Hilton. He thinks and he's proven it with his actions that he doesn't have to do or say anything between now and November. He's going to get elected anyway because the voters in California, especially the Democrats, are such slack-jawed zombies trapped in a cult that even though he's said out loud that he's going to continue all of Gavin Newsom's policies, which are horrible, hurting people's day-to-day lives, he's not going to change anything. People are going to vote for him anyway. So he doesn't talk to reporters. He has not talked to a reporter since June the 9th. What is today? August 6th? Almost 2 full months. He hasn't spoken to a reporter, hasn't taken any questions. And yesterday he was at some voting rights event and he said a few words. It was a press conference, but it was only about him talking about voting rights. And then reporters wanted to ask questions about everything else. And he ran off. And here's some audio of him walking away from reporters, refusing to speak to him.
Secretary Becerra, do you take any questions? Just a quick question. Sorry. Are you have any regret about your HHS career? Do you have any regrets about your HHS career, Secretary Becerra?
Because Proposition 39.
Secretary, your challengers, Steve Hilton, has challenged you to things like the debates. Can you get your reaction to the challenge? Will you be accepting, Secretary?
How many debates?
You are accepting the challenge by your opponent.
Secretary, on Proposition 39, can you just quickly expand on why you accepted Secretary? Thank you.
They got the slam door. He was doing the Karen Bass shuffle there. The Karen Bass airport shuffle. He said nothing, and they hit him with all kinds of different questions. Now, one of the reporters was asking about HHS. That's Health and Human Services. That is the secretary, that's the job he had as secretary of HHS during the Biden administration, where he was in charge of handling all the illegal alien children. And he famously lost track of 330,000 cases, 330,000 cases of children still unresolved. They came into this country. They got into the Health and Human Services system. And then, as far as the government knows, they disappeared. Now, some of the young girls ended up in child prostitution. So thanks to Xavier Becerra, their reward for coming to America is they're getting raped every day, several times a day, sold into sex slavery. And a lot of the other kids have been working in factories, backbreaking work on farms, in meatpacking plants, slaughterhouses, under the worst conditions, the conditions that are illegal. The reason illegal aliens are hired is because they'll work under conditions that are considered illegal for American workers. And so this was a great gift to a lot of corporate bosses. And they don't care if they're kids. Well, Becerra went right along with it. 330,000 cases. And now there's a senior advisor with Health and Human Services. His name is John Fabricatore. He's with the Office of Refugee Resettlement. And he says they have found more than 40 of the children processed by Becerra have died. We found 40 kids deceased. We found kids in sex trafficking. We found kids who were murdered, kids who were in slave labor, and they died in slave labor. Investigators located 148,541 migrant children, but they're trying to account for another 330,000 plus cases. And Steve Hilton has been talking about this frequently, and Becerra will not be. There is no defense for what he did, and he knows it, so he simply runs from reporters. For 2 solid months now, he's refused to speak to reporters because somebody is going to bring up all these children. Somebody's going to ask about the girls who got raped. When we come back, I'm going to give you an example, just one example of what Hilton has been releasing. They've been releasing videos with interviews with some of the kids. And I'll tell you about one girl who describes what she had to put up with. It's really heartbreaking. It's really kind of savage. And this is one of Becerra's kids. Deborah Mark is off today, and we have Eileen Gonzalez with the news live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Senator Mitch McConnell has been discharged from a rehab center. ABC's Stephen Portnoy says McConnell has been there since early last month.
McConnell says in his statement that on the advice of his doctors, he'll maintain an intensive regimen of physical therapy from home during the state work period. That's the August recess.
McConnell says he'll continue to engage with his staff and colleagues on important Senate business. 1 week after an FBI raid, Supervisor Kurt Hagman was a no-show.
San Bernardino County Supervisor Kurt Hagman did not attend Tuesday's Board of Supervisors meeting, his first since FBI agents searched his home and office last week. Federal investigators also searched locations tied to 3 others across Southern California, but haven't said what they're investigating. No arrests or charges have been announced. Heather Brooker, KFI News.
Hikers wanting to use a small public restroom in Runyon Canyon that cost nearly $1 million may have to hold it. The 2-stall prefabricated restroom was installed in February and expected to open this summer, but there is still a fence around it. Hikers say it's confusing since it appears to be complete. City officials haven't said why the restroom is still off limits. Spider-Man: Brand New Day has already become the top grossing movie of the year. The movie has made more than $1.1 billion at the global box office in just 7 days. It's the second fastest to reach $1 billion globally, behind Avengers Endgame. We'll check your drive on the 101 next.
Let me tell you something. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, they get a commission, you're done, and you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, and so do the gaps in your insurance that you didn't notice and the risk you've taken. I'm telling you about SuperSure. If your company has more than 25 employees, if you're the owner, the CFO, or the HR manager, it's too complicated just to buy a policy online. SuperSure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, and you get year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access their tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English. So probably for the first time, you can see what's covered and what's not. And then they give you a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth, so you know how much you need protecting. Supersure.com, one super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com, supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
SoCal weather from KFI: mostly clear this evening, then partly cloudy overnight with lows in the upper 60s for Metro LA and OC. Mid-60s to around 70 at the beaches, mid-60s in the valleys. Right now, it's 87 in Long Beach, 93 in Riverside. It's slow going on the 101 in Agora Hills.
It's that southbound side, and delays are backing up all the way from Chesborough. You're on the brakes in stretches all the way into downtown Los Angeles, that northbound side of the 101. Those delays begin out of Hollywood from about Melrose and stretches all the way to White Oak in Encino. It's tough on the 5. This is northbound leaving Sun Valley. And delays here are loading up from just about Sunland Boulevard all the way to the 14 freeway. And the 14 is really filling in northbound from the 5 all the way towards Sand Canyon. And then you've got some more slowing ahead as you roll into Agua Dulce. It looks like you're on the brakes from Agua Dulce Canyon. A crash just before Escondido Canyon Road seems to be the culprit. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Is it time to downsize? Well, it doesn't have to be a hassle. With Seller's Advantage, you can skip the real estate agents, the commissions, the costly repairs. They'll buy your home as is for cash. And here's what Chris Chavez had to say, a real customer. Seller's Advantage was definitely the best company I've worked with. They offered me more than I expected. The whole process was great. And they were helpful. Always answered the phone, and I can't say enough about the experience. Get your free, no-obligation cash offer, Seller's Advantage, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRA number 01961658, Providence Realty, DRA number 019-15212.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
Worried about what your breath smells like after coffee, lunch, drinks, or a night out? That's why we created Zellman's,
the breath mint for grown-ups. Zellman's is not available in stores, so go to Zellmans.com. That's ZELMINS.com and use code SAVE for 15% off your first order.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
Take action for your retirement. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
Tap into happy hour with half-priced pizzas and select apps every weekday at Yard House. Find yours at yardhouse.com.
I definitely tune in to KFI for news. If I turn on the radio, they're going to be talking about it.
It's the go-to station for me.
Listen to KFI. I didn't hear that on the news. You won't. You can't just get everything off of local news and TikTok, right?
People are so quick to go to their podcasts nowadays, but this is a great way to get up-to-date news, be engaged in your community, to know what's happening locally.
It's very unique and different. It's part of Southern California. It gets me through the day.
KFI, AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. And we continue. We're on 3 to 6. After 6 o'clock, John Kobylt Show on demand. We're live on YouTube. We're live on X. So you can come and watch us on video. Do that now. And you can follow us on John Kobylt Radio on all the social media at John Kobylt Radio. All right. Xavier Becerra, for those of you not in the know. But he was called Becerra by the president, Joe Biden.
Xavier Becerra.
There you go. I don't make things up. Xavier Becerra ran away from reporters yesterday who were shouting questions at him. He was walking very rapidly down the sidewalk. He hasn't talked to a reporter in 2 months because he thinks his voters will vote for him no matter what, and he doesn't even have to campaign. And if you're not voting for him, he doesn't give a crap. So he doesn't explain anything, defend anything, stand for anything, promise anything, tell you that he's going to change anything. He's just simply going to keep walking fast. Now, reporters, a few of them, have been questioning him about the 330,000 migrant children that he lost when he was the Secretary for Department of Health and Human Services. And even his aides won't respond to any of those questions. They start talking about Trump. It's funny. So he's not talking. His aides aren't talking because there's no defense. It's just, is the news media in this sorry state going to give him the treatment he deserves, which is constantly, relentlessly saying, what the hell is going on? What was going on? 330,000 kids is not nothing. And they ended up in bad places. Sex slavery, girls getting raped all day long, every day of their life, young girls. And they're in sweatshops, factories, out in the fields in 100-degree sun, slaughterhouses, meatpacking plants. They had zero rights. They're held captive because Becerra allowed them all to be stolen, basically, by drug cartel members and God knows who. So Hilton is releasing a series of stories and videos with some of these victims, some of the children. And he's got one girl telling her story named Juana. She said she was forced to work 20 hours a day, never received any pay, and slept on the floor beside 4 young males. Her name is Juana Rebecca Perez Sante. And when she was 17, when she crossed the border, and then she was released by Becerra's people into the hands of child traffickers. So now the traffickers have Juana, thanks to Becerra. So she's working 20 hours a day, no pay, slept on the floor beside 4 young males. No food. She had to ask permission to drink water. The worst moment, Juana said, occurred when a drunk man came into the house and tried to rape me. They treated me like a slave. Juana begged her sponsor for help. Yeah. She was told, leave him alone. He's drunk. He doesn't know what he's doing. Now she what? Oh, okay. Let's, all right, brief break here. We're going to talk to Carl DeMaio from Reform, California, and he's got some news, what the judge said. You had Carl getting Prop 39 on the ballot and Rob Bonta rewriting the title and summary to depress the yes vote. This is about voter ID. Let's see what Carl has to say.
Hey, John. So we spoke about an hour ago. The court hearing was underway. And as I said at the moment we spoke, I did not expect the judge to give us any relief because this has always been a long shot. The judges typically err on the side of supporting the politicians that appoint them. And true to form, the judge said, it may be biased, it may not like the language, but, what he says isn't provably false because some citizens could be prevented from voting if they don't have an ID. So the judge is going to allow the ballot title to be changed from voter ID initiative to prohibits citizens from voting. Those are the first four words that Rob Bonta shoved on this ballot measure, and the judge is going to allow the politicians to put their thumb on the scale. So
who's this judge?
It's not a fair fight.
Who's this judge?
Judge Rockwell in Sacramento Superior Court just ruled. And again, we had to fight because when something corrupt happens, you fight.
And so he added another layer of corruption here. He's actually admitting this is biased wording, but it's not technically wrong.
Exactly. As long as he has a leg to stand on that, well, under certain circumstances, citizens, if they don't have their ID, they could be prohibited from voting. So they're trying to say a voter ID requirement to vote is somehow prohibiting all citizens from voting. Again, it is a biased title. We've had this before, and we've still prevailed. It's not a fair fight, but it is a fight that I believe we will prevail on because the voters are sick and tired of politicians trying to manipulate ballot titles. So it's a very disappointing ruling. It's not a surprising ruling. And this just should fuel people who want to fight the injustice here by getting the word out to voters.
Oh, I do feel like we live in a foreign country, though. I really do.
Yeah.
That's yeah. All right, Carl DeMaio, thank you for fighting it, and we'll talk with you soon.
Thanks so much. Take care.
All right, let me see who this Judge Rockwell is. So if you're not up to speed on this, Prop 39 is on the ballot, and Carl and his organization, Reform California, got it on the ballot, and it's going to require voter ID. And Rob Bonta, when he thought that DeMaio wasn't going to get enough signatures to get it on the ballot, gave him a neutral wording of the title and summary. And then after it made the ballot, he and Newsom decided, well, we can't let this stand. So he made the first four words of the summary something along the line of will prohibit citizens from voting, which is wrong. I mean, just terribly ethically wrong, morally wrong. In a technical sense, correct, because if you're a citizen, you don't have ID, you can't get to vote. That's the whole point, is you got to get the ID, and IDs are extremely easy to get. And we all know the arguments, right? They're used for everything. But not for voting in California. So you end up with Nithya Raman in the finals for mayor. Because thousands of homeless people mysteriously voted all for Raman in the final days. I mean, we've got a real world example of the voting fraud that goes on. And everybody knows this. Nithya Raman knows this. Remember, she was crying on election night? She gave what seemed to be a concession speech, and she was in tears because she'd lost. And then they found thousands of vagrants miraculously voted for her. Her. Not much for Karen Bass, nothing for Spencer Pratt, all for her. It's like, what the hell? How'd this happen? Oh, well, we know how it happened. So, of course, they don't want voter ID. And these judges, they always side with Newsom. Because who appoints them? It's just so disheartening. And that's why this time we have to mobilize, because it's on the ballot. We just got to get everybody to know that this is not going to prohibit anybody from voting. Just bring your damn ID and you can vote as long as you're a legal citizen. God. And Carl said that the judge kind of admitted, it's like, well, yeah, this is biased. Well, then get rid of it. Strike it down. Take a break. I'm going to look up and see who this guy is. What a bunch of snakes. In for Deborah Mark, we got Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. A fire near Highway 138 north of Lake Hughes has sparked evacuation warnings. County leaders are reporting an increase in crimes targeting people because of their religion. And the big winners of the 6th annual Critics' Choice Super Awards have been announced. We'll have more news at the top of the hour. We'll check your drive coming up.
Infinity Bank, when it comes to banking, are all of your eggs in one basket? What happens when your card doesn't work and you have to look at the back of the card to find the 800 number? Or if your wallet is stolen, who's the reliable source when you need money or new cards, assurances that your money is safe? Well, you can rest assured you won't have to worry about that with Infinity Bank. I'm going to give you the phone number of the president, Victor Guerrero. He set up my account, and Victor will set up your new account today. 657-223-1000. 657-223-1000. Talk to the president. The president. Don't miss out on one of the best rates in the U.S. with their money market savings account, Infinity Bank.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight. Some clouds from the coast to downtown LA. Lows will be mostly in the mid-60s. This report is brought to you by Staples. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. There's a car on fire on the 14.
It's in Vasquez Rocks, and it's northbound coming up on Escondido Canyon Road. All the activities off to the right shoulder. Looks like they've got all lanes open there, because at last check, it was pretty dense coming away from Agua Dulce Canyon Road, but it still is slow from that point, but much less volume. So things are thinning out quickly. Let's also check out the drive in the Pico Rivera area. This is the 605 heading southbound. We're going to back it up all the way out of Whittier. That's all suddenly slow from Peck Road as you continue all the way to the 5 freeway. And we're also looking at the drive on the northbound side of the 605. Delays from the 105 as you travel ahead towards Whittier Boulevard. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Every day, Californians work hard to build a better future. They deserve leaders who work just as hard for them, not for special interests. In the Assembly, Juan Carrillo is delivering solutions for the high desert, building more affordable housing, investing in good-paying jobs, and lowering costs for hardworking families. Because California deserves problem solvers who deliver real solutions on the issues that matter most. Paid for by Grow California.
All right, it's officially the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech, 20% off for teachers, and more. Check out all the deals at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy. This report is sponsored by Mitsubishi Electric. Tired of sweating through another SoCal summer? Mitsubishi Electric's energy-efficient heat pump system keeps every room just right. Visit BeCoolSoCal.com to find a diamond contractor and see rebates or financing. Real comfort starts at BeCoolSoCal.com.
Have you been avoiding shorts or swimsuits because of painful varicose or embarrassing spider veins? Is that how you want to live? West Medical can help. Treatments may be covered by most PPO insurance plans, including Anthem Blue Cross, Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare, and more. Don't ignore leg pain, swelling, or bulging veins. Call 1-800-WEST Medical for your free consultation or visit westmedical.com today. Isn't it time to feel incredible?
Feel incredible. 1-800-WEST Medical.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Heather Sparks, head of content at Zenith, the Publicist media agency, discusses the inherently human power of radio hosts.
I actually think DJs were the original influencers. You invited them into your home, you invited them into your ear, you built a relationship with them, you understood and trusted the things that were interesting to them. And yes, now that's got a full flywheel and it's very video based and there's a lot of different types of influence. And so thinking about the plethora of content, human created versus not human created, I think as humans, we're always looking to feel something. And so I think human connection is never going to go away.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow, and all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Toyota's national sales event is on, and now's the time to find your new Toyota. Whether you're looking for the capability of a Tacoma or Tundra, the efficiency of a Camry or Corolla, or the versatility of a RAV4, there's a Toyota built for you. With low lease payments and APRs on our most popular models, now's the perfect time to get yours. But don't wait. Toyota National Sales Event ends soon. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
What can you do at Toyota.com? Better question, what can't you do? Because at Toyota.com, you can check out our latest models, search our inventory, and see our latest offers. You can even build and price your new Toyota right online, picking the exact model and color that's right for you. Whether you just want to download a brochure or you're ready to buy, all things Toyota are at Toyota.com. We make it easy. Toyota, let's go places.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Coming up on the next Gary and Shannon show.
It's the 9 news nuggets you need to know. A great way to round out the week, including a guy in, guess where? Florida, with tequila and towels and a tiny bit of trouble.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
The Gary and Shannon show starts tomorrow morning at 9.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Boy, a lot going on here. We've got the Moist line for Friday, 877-MOIST-86, 877-MOIST-86, or the Talkback feature on the iHeart Radio app. And we're live on YouTube, live on X. You may have seen video today. An 8-inch pipe broke in the Hollywood Hills, and water was gushing down the road there. And now another water main break in Brentwood on Westridge Road. If I remember correctly, that is north of Sunset, a little bit up in the hills. And that one, I am told, I didn't see the video, but Channel 5 had it running, was shooting high into the air. So we have 2 water mains busting just today in Los Angeles as the city continues to crumble and deteriorate. And I just looked up who Judge Rockwell is. Now, if you're just joining us, Carl DeMaio was on from Reform, California. He's got Prop 39 on the ballot. That requires voter ID in the future. If it passes, it's very popular, even among Democrats. And so those 2 snakes, Newsom and Bonta, Bonta rewrote the title and summary to make it look like if Prop 39 passes, citizens will be prohibited from voting, which is complete garbage and nonsense. So it went before a judge. DeMaio's organization filed a complaint, And the judge said, well, yeah, it might be biased, but I mean, technically it's right. I mean, if you don't have an ID and you're a citizen, I'm looking up who Rockwell is. I just assumed it was a guy, but it's a woman, Jennifer K. Rockwell, Sacramento. Kind of a nerdy looking lady. And so she thinks it's okay to distort the title and summary so badly that it looks as if Prop 39 prohibits citizens from voting. She thinks that's okay. And she was appointed by Jerry Brown. Later was reelected, but was originally appointed. And Carl's right. The only way these people keep their jobs and don't have to face an opponent is you do whatever the governor and the attorney general says. Not independent. How could you kind of in a backwards way admit it's like, yeah, this isn't right. This smells. Saying it's going to prohibit voting. She knows exactly what it's going to do. They've already done poll testing. It's going to knock 10 points off the support. Now, Carl's crowd has got to spend more money and intensify the efforts to explain, no, this is going to keep people who are not eligible to vote from voting. Starting with all the illegal aliens, starting with all the fake voters that put Nithya Raman in the finals. Jennifer K. Rockwell. What a system we have here. Absolutely corrupt from top to bottom. I just wanted to finish what I'm talking about here, and I'm going to do a lot more about this tomorrow. But Javier Becerra was being chased by reporters yesterday. He has not spoken out loud to a reporter since June the 9th. It's been almost 2 months. And Steve Hilton is running a really good campaign. The media would cover it more. Steve Hilton has been producing some of the children that Becerra lost track of. 330,000 migrant children Javier Becerra lost track of. And a lot of them end up in really horrible situations. Sex work, farm work, factory work. And I was telling you about a story. One woman, Juana, forced to work 20 hours a day, no pay, no food. He had to ask permission to drink water. Drunk guy comes in the house and tried to rape her. They treated her like she was a slave. And it was some kind of fake, phony sponsor that Becerra's staff members allowed to take this girl away. I mean, it's just these heartbreaking stories here. And we'll talk more about her and some other people tomorrow. But there's a whistleblower who's currently working in Health and Human Services named John Kobylt. And he said many of the unresolved cases trace back to cartels that broke families up before they arrived at the border. And because we had such a broken system under Biden and Becerra, they could extort families or traffic children. So the cartels broke up the families, brought the children separately over the border, and basically sold the kids into slavery, either hard labor or sex slavery. Kobylt says investigators are trying to reconstruct records that are years old that were compromised because nobody questioned who the sponsors were. The identifying information was unverified and unreliable. Thousands of fraudulent addresses given, thousands of fraudulent dates of birth, and names. And again, this is Becerra's policy because he was Secretary of Health and Human Services. Same job that Robert F. Kennedy has. And it's not just a few kids got lost in a big system. It's 330,000. Because Becerra, more than anything, is utterly incompetent, inept, Karen Bass level incompetent. What you've seen happen to Los Angeles in the last 3.5 years, you just wait. Becerra gets in, it is going to be a race to the bottom. What's going to deteriorate the most, the quickest, fall the farthest? Is it going to be L.A. or the whole state? And they get voted in. That's what's fascinating. Any other state in the union, it would not happen. Any other state in the union, this would not happen. Only here. All right, we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Joey Tuccio is coming on. Another sign of our complete decay is that dogs are being experimented with, tortured, and killed on Skid Row, and Karen Bass will not stop it. Nithya Raman's done nothing, but Nithya Raman came to the home of Joey Tuccio. Joey Tuccio is the guy we've had on frequently. He runs a organization. It starts with one, and he tries to save these dogs. And he's been highly critical of Raman and Bass. Well, Raman came to his house. Talk about that. And I hear that the Bass called the police on Tuccio. That's charming. All right. Deborah Marks off today. We got Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST HD2, Los Angeles, Orange County. More stimulating talk.
Fire evacuation warnings. I'm Eileen Gonzalez, live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom. Evacuation warnings are being issued because of a fire burning near Highway 138 north of Lake Hughes. Authorities say the Dora fire has burned about 750 acres. It started about mid-afternoon and is burning to the east as it's being pushed mainly by winds in the area. LA County DA Nathan Hochman has joined local law enforcement and religious leaders to announce that his office is seeing an increase in crimes targeting people because of their religion.
The most interesting development is that religious-based hate crimes have actually spiked.
He also says tomorrow he will announce more details in the case against former LAPD officer Daniel Flores. He's being charged with 16 felony counts of secretly recording his coworkers while they made racist, homophobic, and misogynistic remarks.
We have absolutely no tolerance whatsoever for any of the vile, racist, sexist, or homophobic statements that are part of that case.
Hochman says prosecutors are prioritizing hate crime cases and pledged to aggressively pursue those responsible as incidents continue to climb across the country. Republicans on the Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee have voted to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt of Congress. But ABC's Peter Haralamba says it's not clear what will come of the contempt resolution.
A contempt resolution would normally now head to the full Senate, where it would require 60 votes. However, it's unlikely the Fauci resolution would receive enough support in the full Senate to pass.
Senator Rand Paul says he'll send it to the Department of Justice in the hopes they'll take action. The man accused of starting the Old Trails fire in Spokane, Washington, has confessed to starting it. ABC's Alex Stone says the fires destroyed hundreds of homes.
In new court documents, investigators say alleged arsonist Aaron Farinacci said he started planning what would become the Old Trails fire 2 weeks beforehand.
Prosecutors say he also researched when there would be high wind and low humidity and how to get the greatest spread of the fire. Applications are now being accepted for the final season of deer hunting on Catalina Island.
Eligibility is limited to residents of the island. The Catalina Island Conservancy's plan to kill roughly 2,000 non-native deer was approved by the state in February to restore the native habitat of the protected wildlands. LA County Supervisor Janice Hanna opposes the hunt, saying the mule deer have become an important part of the island since they were introduced there for sport hunting nearly a century ago. A plan to shoot them from helicopters was shot down in 2024. Deer hunting season runs late October to mid-December. The Fish and Wildlife Department says the deer meat will be harvested for its California condor recovery plan. Michael Crozier, KFI News.
Amazon's The Boys and Apple TV's Widow's Bay are the big winners of the 6th annual Critics' Choice Super Awards. They've picked up 3 honors each. The awards honor the genres of superheroes, science fiction, fantasy, horror, and action movies, as well as TV shows. SoCal weather from KFI, mostly clear in the evening, then partly cloudy with lows in the upper 60s for Metro LA and OC. Mid-60s to around 70 at the beaches, mid-60s in the valleys and IE, upper 60s to mid-70s in the high desert. Tomorrow, low clouds and fog in the morning, then sunny with highs in the 80s to around 90. Right now, it's 90 in Montebello, 86 in Orange, 79 in Manhattan Beach, and 86 here in Burbank. The KFI Financial Update brought to you by Supersure. Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your business insurance in one place. The Dow closed down 464, S&P down 13, and NASDAQ closed down 15. Let's go to a crash on the 405 at LAX.
This is on the southbound side, and it's coming right up there on the 105 freeway. That's where only the right lane is open, and delays are backing up. It looks like it's backing up all the way out of West LA. We've seen delays from Santa Monica Boulevard. Beyond the wreck, it's still pretty heavy, but in stretches as you continue all the way towards Palo Verde in Long Beach, that northbound side of the 405. That's going to be pretty tough as well out of Culver City from just about the 90. Delays continue all the way to Nordhoff and North Hills. You just have a little opening before you're on the brakes at the 118 to the 5 merge. Now, it's tough in the Cajon Pass. 15 northbound slowing, leaving the 210 freeway all the way to the 138. And I'm also checking out the drive in getting out away from March Air Reserve Base. That's the 215 northbound. Delays from about Alessandro. And it looks like there's a crash ahead coming up on University. They've got that out of lanes now, but it still left that slow drive behind. South 215 slowing out of Colton, getting away from the 10 as you continue back to the scene of that wreck. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
I'm not great with words after a fight, and I'm sorry, wasn't cutting it this time. So I used Smile Tunes to write a soulful ballad about how she's always right. By the second chorus, the silent treatment was officially over. Visit SmileTunes.com and get out of the doghouse today.
Want up to $25,000 in free silver? When you make a qualifying purchase through Golden Crest Metals, you can receive up to $25,000 in real silver added to your account. Call 888-447-7857 now for your free information kit. That's 888-447-7857. Again, call 888-447-7857. Not a financial advisor. Precious metals involve risk. Free silver offers a 10% bonus in silver on qualifying purchases of premium minted coins. $10,000 minimum purchase required. Bonus silver capped to $25,000 and credited to customer account. See goldencrestmetals.com for full terms.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio. John Kobylt Show. We're on every day from 3 until 6. After 6 o'clock, we're on the podcast, John Kobylt Show on Demand. It's the same as the radio show. It's how you catch up on what you missed. And we're live on YouTube now and live on X. Hi there. Subscribe, become a member, youtube.com/@JohnKobyltShow. Live in both places. Now, I was just looking at Channel 5, and they had video of the Brentwood geyser. We have another massive water main break in Brentwood, and there is it looks like Old Faithful Yellowstone shooting high into the air. Another water main break. Second one of the day. An 8-inch water main busted in the Hollywood Hills, and they had a lot of water streaming downhill on those roads. And it's like, you know what? This water main breaks Mandeville Canyon. It's not all that far from where I live. And you know what? All these idiots, they voted for Karen Bass. They deserve to be flooded out. Same thing in the Hollywood Hills. This is all Bass territory. So this is what you got. This is a remnant of Janice Quinones. She was the DEI queen, obsessed with DEI, and did no maintenance, didn't fill the reservoir, didn't do anything practical to keep the pipes repaired and operating. I see apologists now saying, well, you know, the pipes are old, so that's going to happen. Yes, exactly. And that's why a tremendous amount of money should be spent on replacing the pipes continuously, not waiting until they're 110 years old, instead of putting the money into, I don't know, mental patients and street lunatics and drug addicts. All that money that went to the homeless, that buy you a lot of pipe. All right, let's get Joey Tucci on here because all the money spent on homelessness has brought you a lot of dead dogs, unfortunately, in Skid Row, where the dogs have been getting experimented on and are tortured and killed And Joey runs an organization called It Starts With One, and he's been trying to rescue as many of these as possible. And nobody in the city is helping, not Police Chief Jim McDonald, not the mayor, Karen Bass, not anyone on the city council, not Nithya Raman. But Joey sent us a message today that Nithya Raman came to his house. Well, that got our attention. Hey, Joey, welcome. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am good. You sent us two messages. Nithya Raman came to my house, and Karen Bass's office called the police on me. Why don't we start with Raman? What?
Yeah, it's been an interesting few days. So I made an Instagram post, well, a couple of them, basically calling out Kenneth May about using a smiling corgi in literature to endorse Nithya Raman. I thought that was very inappropriate, since Nithya has not cared about the animals at all. And it got Kenneth's attention, and he brought Nithya over to my house with the founders of Starts With One today. And we had a 90-minute conversation, and I am more disappointed than I was before. And it is clear that if she does become mayor, it's going to be weak-handed enforcement times 10. And I was very alarmed that she didn't even know the names of the homeless shelters on Skid Row. She called the Midnight Mission the Friday Mission. And she just didn't understand. She didn't understand what happens in the SRO. She didn't understand Skid Row, and she was open about it. And I found that to be disgusting.
That's where she got a lot of votes.
Yeah.
These are her people.
Yeah, it was very alarming. And as she walked out, she said, "Look, there's two people on the card, me and Karen. Choose your poison." And
that's her. Wait. Nithya Raman said that to you? Choose your poison?
Yeah. Choose your poison. And I thought that was very appropriate, because either way it's poison. And so she kept saying that, in Sherman Oaks, when there's a homeless person and a dog, it's companionship. But she doesn't understand that Skid Row is not Sherman Oaks. It's so different. And there's nearly everybody's on drugs, and nobody knows what day it is, let alone the capacity to take care of the dog. And she didn't understand that.
Did she have any kind of a normal reaction when you were explaining about the dogs who've been murdered and tortured and experimented on with drugs? You've posted the photos. You've told the stories. Other people have come out and verified this. It's been covered in the news media. Did she have any kind of a response that would signify she's a normal person?
Not in that regard, no. And that's why I left. Well, when she left, I was so frustrated. It's like I didn't see the fire behind her. And I haven't seen it before, but I wanted to see it in person, and it wasn't there. The fire, the passion, the readiness to take on these drug users and these criminals. I was just on Venice today because I met with Tracy Park, because her office said there's no dogs being sold on the Venice boardwalk, which is completely false. I walked with her. In 30 minutes, there were puppies being sold on the boardwalk, and the person got arrested. He had an open felony warrant out for him. I mean, it's just like, every district is not exempt, and including Nithya's district. And I don't think that she's qualified to take office.
When you told her these stories, and you've told many of them on the air here, what did she say? She just stare at you?
Yes. Her thing is she doesn't want, and she admitted it. And even though at the time I had respect that she admitted it, the dogs are dying and people are dying. So it's like she's on step 0.5. She needs to be on step 19.
What did she admit to? What did she admit to?
That she doesn't understand Skid Row. That she doesn't understand what happens on Skid Row. And she told us, we need more pet-friendly housing. And our response is, just today, we rescued 2 dogs from Inside Safe that the caseworker said the conditions of this apartment is so bad, it is literally considered a biohazard. 1 dog is dying of heart failure, and this is happening in Inside Safe. So she doesn't understand that shoving people into housing is not the answer, because what happens behind closed doors is the same thing that happens on the streets, but now we can't see it.
This is way worse than I thought. What was your reaction to her?
My reaction to her was, I was disappointed, and I told her flat out. I said, "Look," and she knows that I don't trust her, and a lot of people in the animal community, welfare community, do not trust her.
Well, but here's what I don't understand: the dogs are dying. Many of them are dead. They've been experimented on. They've been tortured. This is all factual. You have the photographs. You have the firsthand testimony from you and many others. There's no question it's going on. Does she want to stop this? Or she's walking away?
Know how.
What?
She doesn't know how. And that's the problem.
It's all against the law. Every one of these is crimes.
Yes, I totally agree with you. But it's the same thing that, with Isabel Gerardo and other people, is that they come in with these rose-colored glasses and they don't know how to take them off. And they don't know how to say, okay, this is a criminal. This person needs to be in jail.
Okay, but wait a second. This is reality. It's a disgusting, horrific reality that turns most people's stomach. This is not an esoteric, abstract, academic debate here. These are actual dead dogs that are rotting in the heat.
Yeah, 1,000%. And she didn't have the answers. And to me, it's like, if you're coming into my house, somebody who's been so open about my frustrations with her, I would have thought that she would have come prepared. And she did not come prepared. In fact, Kenneth did most of the talking. And a lot of times when I was looking at Nithya, she kind of couldn't even look me in the eye a lot of the times. And it was a very telling thing. And look, I don't know. Between Karen and Nithya, we have Karen for maybe 4 more years. We could have Nithya for 8 more years. And like you said at the beginning, I went to Karen's office because she's ignoring me, and I went with a box of ashes of a dog that died on Skid Row. And Karen's office knew about this dog when this dog was alive, did nothing. I went in, and they called the police on me, and that was their reaction, was trying to silence me and try to get the problem to go away.
Hang on the line. Can you stay for another segment?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Joey Tuccio. It Starts With One is his organization. Nithya Raman came over his house with Kenneth Mejia, fellow Democratic Socialist, to try to understand what's going on at Skid Row with the dogs. And apparently she could not comprehend it, and doesn't appear to be going to do. She's not going to do anything about it. Doesn't care. Deborah Mark, thank God she's off today. Eileen Gonzalez live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Here's the latest. Information still has not been released about a man who was killed during a shootout with San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies in the Antelope Valley. Governor Newsom's criticizing the FCC for a change on the rule in broadcast media ownership. And LA Philharmonic director Gustavo Dudamel will be featured in a PBS Kids special. We'll have more news at the bottom of the hour. We'll check your drive on the 405 next.
If you're looking to sell your home, you call Seller's Advantage, and they're going to make you a cash offer. They'll buy your home as is for cash. No need for repairs. They close in days. They might offer you a $10,000 advance to help you move. Check out their reviews online. Call for a no obligation offer, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-AS-IS, 888-321-2747, sellersadvantage.com.
Seller's Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
DRE number 01961658, Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
SoCal weather from KFI from the Odoo.com Weather Center. Odoo, the only business software you need. It'll be mostly clear tonight with some clouds from the coast to downtown LA. Lows will be mostly in the mid-60s. This report is brought to you by California Baptist University. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Let's go to a crash on the 405 in Inglewood.
This is on the southbound side of the 405. I was just trying to get a good, an exact location on this by checking out the Caltrans cameras, but it actually does look like it's on the El Segundo side of the 405, just south of the 105 freeway. So It looks like this is that crash. They've got the 2 middle lanes blocked. There's an ongoing investigation. There was a motorcyclist that didn't make it after this wreck, and they're going to be out here for a while. Huge delays are backing up now out of West LA, getting away from Santa Monica Boulevard. And delays, right in that Inglewood and El Segundo area are just huge. Even the 105 eastbound loading up all the way from Sepulveda Boulevard as you continue ahead to about Crenshaw, make that western out into Hawthorne. Let's also look at the drive in Pasadena. This is East 210 slowing from Mountain and stretches all the way into Rialto, and westbound delays out of Arcadia from Santa Anita Avenue back to the 134. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Infinity Bank. Most banks give you a call center. Infinity Bank gives you the president, Victor Guerrero. He'll speak directly with you. Open an account. I did with Victor. Call him at 657-223-1000. Infinity.bank.
California Baptist University, California's largest Christian university, offers more ways to move forward. From pre-college credit for high school students to bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees, with flexible courses starting every 8 weeks. Apply today at calbaptist.edu.
This report is sponsored by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
What's the price of good health? If you've been putting off a weight loss procedure because you think it's too expensive, think again. If you are 50 pounds or more overweight, you are opening the door for a future of medical bills. But you know what is free? A consultation at West Medical. At West Medical, bariatric procedures may be covered by many PPO insurance plans. Stop waiting and start investing in your health today. Call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL for your free, no-obligation consultation or visit westmedical.com.
I feel incredible. 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owe the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they helped me. They calmed me down. They made me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louie has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louie.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-764-6022. 800-764-6022. 800-764-6022.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
It's your home equity. Shouldn't you be able to access it?
Well, the bank said otherwise.
When HELOC said no, Splatero said go. There's only a 500 minimum credit score and no income requirement. And you keep your existing mortgage rate. Visit Splatero.com today.
Every day, Californians work hard to build a better future. They deserve leaders who work just as hard for them, not for special interests. In the Assembly, Juan Carrillo is delivering solutions for the high desert, building more affordable housing, investing in good-paying jobs, and lowering costs for hardworking families. Because California deserves problem solvers who deliver real solutions on the issues that matter most. Paid for by Grow California.
KFI. David Cifaldi and two of his friends have been hiking for about 7 hours up Montana's tallest mountain last week when he slipped on a rock and fell. Dusts himself off and gets up, but he can only find one of his poles. You know where the other one is? Sticking through his flank. And he convinces his friends, I don't have great insurance, so we can't do the helicopter thing. So we should just walk.
This is how bad health insurance has become in America.
Gary and Shannon. Tomorrow morning at 9 on KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Why do you love movies?
Is it the emotion, the spectacle, the escapism? On Raiders of the Lost podcast, we explore cinema like no one else, including huge interviews with stars like Ryan Gosling on Project Hail Mary.
It was like the Jaws shark. Didn't always work, came with its own problems. That's what made it great. The heart of the movie is Rocky and Grace, and their friendship is hard-earned.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search Raiders of the Lost podcast, and listen now.
KFI AM 640. More stimulating talk.
Hey, it's Conway Show. Today after 6 o'clock, you remember the movie The Exorcist, right? Linda Blair? Well, she has 250 dogs in Acton, and that's a bigger story. And we're going to talk about it today after 6 because somebody thinks she has way too many dogs, but she's really helping these dogs out. So that's all today after 6 on the Conway Show.
$1,000 giveaway.
Now is your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Dollar. That's DOLLAR. Enter it now at KFIAM640.com/cash.
KFI.
And dollar is the word dollar. Enter that at KFIAM640.com/cash. If you win, you get an email. Check your junk and spam folder. Next chance to win will be 9:20 tomorrow morning. New keyword with Gary and Shannon here on KFI. Let's continue a few more minutes with Joey Tuccio. It starts with one is his organization trying to save the dogs being killed and abused and experimented on Skid Row. And the socialist controller, Kenneth Mejia, brought Nithya Raman over to Joey Tuccio's house. And Raman seemed, I don't know how to describe this, but I mean, she was baffled by what she's supposed to do about the homelessness and all the abuse of the dogs. And on the way out, she turned to Joey and said, well, it's only me and Karen on the ballot. Pick your poison. And that's very disheartening, to say the least. It's really is angering. Let's get Joey back on here. So at no point did she say at any point that she feels really bad that these dogs are suffering?
No, what she did say was that she understands how uneducated she is about Skid Row and how she doesn't and she kept bringing back up Sherman Oaks, but she's also the chair of the homelessness committee, so she has no excuse not to understand how Skid Row works.
How could she not know what Skid Row is about? That's not possible because she is the chairwoman of the committee.
There's an organization on Skid Row called LA Can, and it's a very, in my opinion, controversial organization that has prevented the police from doing their job and prevented organizations from doing their job to help enforce laws. And she is a supporter of them. And she actually tried to compare us to LA Can, which we immediately shut her down with, because LA Can is making the problem worse. But she just lumps everybody together. Organizations on Skid Row is all the same.
Wait, she thinks you and your organization are getting in the way of the police?
No, she thinks that LA Can is doing a good job there.
Because they're getting in the way of the police.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, Jesus.
She tried to compliment us by putting us in the same sentence with them, and which we immediately said, please do never put us in the same sentence with them, because they. So that's the part that alarmed me the most, because it's like, oh God, well, if that's your litmus test of positivity on Skid Row, we are definitely. I can't say a curse word.
This is insane. This is insane. What does that organization do to obstruct the police?
If you go to the site, you literally have a staff, and on it says police watchdog, police spy, police, whatever. And what they do is, I mean, they make money mostly off lawsuits, suing the city if somebody tries to enforce laws and remove a dog or do something with the homeless person that they think is not okay, they will sue the police. And I've talked to a sergeant at LAPD Central, and he said that a lot of the times they can't do anything because of LA Can, because they will sue them if they do anything. And LA Can has way too much power.
Wait a second. They just file a lawsuit and that's it? That suspends all police activity?
Yup. And they will literally go to tents and give homeless people their cards and say, if you have a problem, call us. And look, we're the first people to say that if you are down and out homeless, you have rights, obviously. And, that's not an issue. But when it comes to a lot of people on Skid Row have housing, but they prefer to live on the streets. And they prefer to be, LA Ken doesn't understand that. So they have more rights on the streets than in the housing. This is so crazy. You can't have an organization blocking the police department by threatening nonsense lawsuits, and now you got the dogs dying all over the place, not to mention the people dying all over the place. Yep. And guess who went to LA Can 2 weeks ago? Karen Bass for a meeting. I mean, it's just Karen Bass and Isabel Gerardo. There's somebody that used to work at LA Can, is now our chief of staff. So it's all webbed out to prevent people from real change.
I never even heard of this organization.
You'll look them up. You'll be very disappointed.
Joey Tuccio, thank you for coming on.
Thank you, as always.
I'm sorry. I'm completely stunned. I'm speechless. I need to recover. We'll talk more about this when we come back. Oh my God. Eileen Gonzalez in for Deborah Mark live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
Authorities still haven't released information on the guy killed in a shootout with San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies in Little Rock and the Antelope Valley. LA County Sheriff Robert Luna says they know he was dangerous.
The suspect sounds like he was armed, dangerous, and he was willing to shoot it out with the police.
A deputy who was shot by the gunman yesterday is recovering in the Antelope Valley Hospital in Lancaster. The news is brought to you by American Vision Windows. As students prepare to head back to class in LA, information from a nonprofit news outlet shows that gun violence near schools is hard to avoid.
A search by ABC7 of the Gun Violence Data Hub by The Trace shows nearly half of LAUSD campuses experienced at least one school-adjacent shooting in the past 2 years. That's any gunshot within 500 yards of a campus at any time. Trace data journalist Aaron Mendelson says that proximity affects students.
We know that there are studies that have linked this kind of major neighborhood violence with decreased reading proficiency on standardized tests. And so this is an issue that we need to take seriously.
You can search for a school and see the shootings around it at datahub.thetrace.org/dataset/school-adjacent-shootings. Mark Ronner, KFI News.
Governor Newsom is criticizing the Federal Communications Commission's decision to change the rule on broadcast media ownership. The FCC has opted to lift the cap that has barred local TV station owners from reaching more than 39% of households. Newsom says the move flagrantly flouts long-standing limits on media monopolies set by Congress. Los Angeles Philharmonic music and artistic director Gustavo Dudamel is hitting the national stage.
Dudamel will conduct Camille Saint-Saëns' Carnival of the Animals live with the Los Angeles Philharmonic at the Hollywood Bowl. It'll premiere November 16th on PBS Kids and PBS stations nationwide. The animated special tells the story of a young hero searching for a stolen lion's crown while introducing children to Saint-Saëns' orchestral suite through music rather than dialogue. The special also includes a short introduction narrated by Dudamel's 15-year-old son, Martine. Amy King, KFI News.
We'll check your drive on the 405 next.
When you sign your insurance policy, for a lot of brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, they get a commission, you're done, and you may not hear from them again until it's time to renew. But your business runs all year, and so do the gaps that you didn't know was in the policy and the risk that you're taking. Super Sure is what you need if your company has more than 25 employees. Whether you're the owner, the CFO, the HR manager, the whole thing is too complex just to buy a policy online. Super Sure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts, which translates your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus, you get a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth. And you know what needs protecting? Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform. All your policies in one place. Supersure.com. Supersure.com.
Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly clear in the evening, then partly cloudy overnight with lows in the upper 60s for Metro LA and OC, mid-60s to around 70 at the beaches, mid-60s in the valleys. Right now it's 79 in Carson, 98 in Palmdale. There's a crash and investigation underway on the 405 in El Segundo.
This is on the southbound side coming up at El Segundo Boulevard. Earlier motorcycle crash. The two left lanes remain off limits for this investigation. Highway Patrol says it might be close to 8 o'clock before they get all lanes reopened. Huge delays backing up for about 10 miles coming away from Santa Monica Boulevard. Also in Gardena, we're heading out to the 91 westbound at Vermont Avenue. It's that off-ramp that's off limits due to a wreck, and we're seeing delays away from Avalon. The eastbound side of the 91 slows from Avalon Boulevard and stretches all the way to Green River into Corona. And let's also take a look at the drive in the Inland Empire. We're heading out to March Air Reserve Base. This is an earlier wreck, 215 southbound past Van Buren. Everyone's off to the shoulder, but you're on the brakes getting away from Alessandro. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Listen to this. You hear that? Silence. That's my phone. Quiet all day. No spam calls. No spam texts. Your phone, probably not so quiet because data brokers are selling your personal information like it's on clearance. Your phone number, home address, email, family members, political affiliations, even where you bank. It's all online. The scammers have the information. That's why your phone's blowing up. They bought your information and they keep buying it over and over until you make it stop. I made it stop with Incogni's help. Incogni, I-N-C-O-G-N-I. It automatically removes your personal information from hundreds of data brokers and people search sites. Incogni sends the legal removal requests and they follow up and keep monitoring so your information stays off those lists. They got my information off 334 data broker sites. If scammers can't find you, they can't target you. Get 60% off right now. Incogni.com/KFI. That's incogni.com/KFI.
Maestro of the Movies returns to the Hollywood Bowl for the ultimate concert celebration of John Williams. David Newman leads the Los Angeles Philharmonic and Williams' iconic film score favorites for a trio of can't-miss concerts September 4th, 5th, and 6th. This cherished bowl tradition features some of Williams' biggest hits, including scenes and clips from his best-loved films like Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and more on the Bowl's big screen. Get your tickets today at HollywoodBowl.com.
If you haven't had a termite inspection in the last 3 years, don't wait for costly damage. Call Pacific Coast Termite for a free termite inspection from a licensed technician. If you have termite activity, we have the right treatment. No tent, no poisonous gas, no move out. Orange oil treatment will have minimal disruption at home with tenants or your business. Get 10% off, a 2-year warranty, and 90 days same as cash. OAC, serving all of SoCal. Call 800-PACIFIC, PacificCoastTermite.com. Some restrictions apply.
After a major accident, one question comes to mind. What happens next? That's where Wilshire Law Firm comes in. With over 100 attorneys, we've helped recover more than $3 billion for our clients. Let the firm that's been recognized as #1 in personal injury settlements fight for the compensation you deserve. That's what happens next. For a free consultation 24/7, call Wilshire Law Firm, 1-800-ABCDEFG. Wilshire Law Firm won more top 100 personal injury settlements in 2024 than any other law firm in California, as reported by TopVerdict.com. Wilshire Law Firm is in LA.
I was unable to take a walk around my neighborhood, and nothing alleviated the pain. And I went into the Good Feet store. I got fitted for the arch supports. It changed my life, and it could change yours too.
We have 11 area locations. Find the one closest to you at goodfeet.com.
If you run a business and need to get your message to your next customers fast, nothing is faster than audio with iHeart. Let us help you grow your business at the speed of sound today at 844-844-iHeart.
Visit LearCapital.com for your free gold investment kit. That's LearCapital.com.
OPL Law, your advocates and your voice when you need it most. OPLLaw.com.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver. Call Golden Crest Metals, 888-447-7857.
The House Whisperer meets the Horse Gambler. Dean Sharp joins Tim Conway Jr. every Thursday evening at 7:20. More stimulating talk on KFI.
KFI AM 640, live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We are on from 3 to 6, after 6 o'clock. John Kobylt Show on demand. That's the podcast, and it's same as the radio show. I urge you, if you're just tuning in, listen to the first half hour of this hour from 5 to 5:30. Oh, my God. I think we'll play it again tomorrow, at least parts of it tomorrow. Joey Tuccio is on. He's trying to save the dogs that are dying and being tortured on Skid Row by the mental patients and the drug addicts. Been covering this for months. And everybody was baffled. Is like, well, why won't Karen Bass or Nithya Raman do anything about it? Bass is the mayor. Raman is the head of the homeless committee. And they're both running for mayor. Why can't this stop? Why aren't the police involved? Well, Nithya Raman actually came over Joey Tuccio's house, brought there by the city controller. And it was clear Raman had no idea what's going on with Skid Row, according to Tuccio. She literally didn't know anything about it. She's not aware of Skid Row, it seems. It's not far from City Hall. It's where a lot of the money goes that she appropriates from her homeless committee that Bass spends. And she was baffled by what Tuccio was telling her. And she has no idea what to do about it. Well, you call the police and enforce the law. Torturing a dog in public, I believe, violates something. And then Joey told us that Raman is very sympathetic and an ally of this organization. And I should have known about this organization, but I haven't heard of it. LA Can. And it's an activist group. And I'm going to find out more about this before tomorrow's show. They get in the way of the police, and they have intimidated the police because they file lawsuits. Now, I don't know what happens to these lawsuits. I'm sure nearly all of them are probably nonsense, but it's worked on the police department and Karen Bass and Raman, so they don't want to mess with LA Can, which I had this up here. What does this stand for? It's an acronym. I'll tell you later. So LA Can gets in the way of the police. So that's why the police don't do anything about it, because Bass this week was at a meeting with LA Can, and Raman is friends. And so they're all aligned to interfere with the police, including the mayor, including the head of the homeless committee. They're aligned with an organization whose mission is to interfere with the police enforcing the law in Skid Row. That's where we are. And Raman tells Tuccio as she's leaving, well, it's just Karen and I on the card, on the ballot. Pick your poison. Which tells you she knows that she and Bass both are not going to do anything about the homelessness. They don't care because there's no consequence. And they also know, she knows, that much of the public hates these two. Which also tells you that Spencer Pratt surely had enough votes to make the finals. But if Raman has not even been to Skid Row, doesn't understand it, doesn't want to do anything about it, how did she get all those votes? She got all those votes because nonprofits who get their funding from Raman and Bass set up the semi-conscious, drug-addicted homeless people, and they filled out the ballots for them and signed their names or put in an X because that was all legal. And they mailed them at the very last second or maybe after the deadline. Didn't matter. California is going to count them all. And when they saw from the polls that Pratt had a shot to be in the finals, they made sure there was an avalanche of votes for Rahman in Skid Row. Now, she didn't carry her own district. She came in last place in her own district, but she got this overwhelming number in Skid Row. And she doesn't even know where Skid Row is, apparently, or what's going on, doesn't know what to do about it, doesn't want to do anything about it, and is allied with the group that interferes to stop the police from doing anything about it. And everything I just told you is true. It really has happened. It really is happening. And a lot of this information came from Rahman herself to Joey Tuccio. Wow. Wow. So with Rahman, the bodies will keep piling up. The money will keep going down the rat hole. Typhus is going to keep spreading. That's yesterday's story about record outbreak of typhus here in Los Angeles. Numbers nobody has seen since LA became a city. And it comes from the fleas, from the rats, from the garbage, from the homeless encampments. This is a disease that was really popular in the 1400s in Europe, in the 15 and 1600s. And now it's back in Los Angeles. She probably doesn't know that either. So she's running around complaining that there's no sense of urgency from Karen Bass to deal with all the degradation of LA. Well, there's no urgency from her even to... How do you live in Los Angeles the last 10 years? And she's only been here about 10 years. She was in India. Okay. She's never lived in Los Angeles when it was a great city, a fun city to live in. She showed up here in 2015. That's why she has no sense of this place or California. She got some nonsense degree as an urban planner, I think. Classic overeducated idiot. Nithya Rahman is an overeducated idiot. How did you exist here for the last 10 years and not know about Skid Row when you're in charge of the homeless committee and you have no thoughts on what to do? And they've spent billions of dollars. And you might think I'm making this up. I am not. This is not hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating. This is the truth. And Bass is no different. And apparently they have to salute L.A. Can. Which I've never heard of this. They interfere with the police and they get away with it. They threaten lawsuits with the police so the police backs down. This doesn't go on anywhere else. I have run out of ways to describe this. There's no words in the English language to describe this insanity. This has never existed before. And everybody else in the city is just scrolling, I guess. Just keep scrolling. So what do you do here? I mean, it's gone to hell and it's never coming back, I guess. Because nobody's, even if you vote differently, you don't vote in great enough numbers differently to overcome all the corruption and all the fake votes. Voting in Los Angeles, the elections are corrupt. They're not legitimate elections. Nithya Rahman is not a legitimate candidate. I mean, Soviet leaders would blush at this stuff. And they do it they talk about it openly. Nithya Rahman just talks about it openly. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Not bothered by all the stories of the animal abuse. I mean, There's something really, really wrong with her. I mean, in a deep, profound way. Something really wrong with her. I think about all the... I got to take a break. All right, more coming up. In for Deborah Mark, who thankfully took the day off because she'd be laying flat out on the floor by now.
I'm on the floor here.
Yeah, I think Gonzalez is very upset about this. I don't know how you could be a human being and not be horrified at all this. Eileen's got the news.
Here's the latest. Iran and Oman could be close to finalizing framework to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. California truck drivers are taking Governor Newsom to court, and a new dinosaur species that roamed the northwest part of New Mexico 73 million years ago has been discovered. We'll have more news at the top of the hour. We'll check your drive on the 405 next.
Time to sell your home? You want to downsize, move, you inherit a home that you don't want? Call Sellers Advantage, whatever the reason. They have been buying homes for decades. They buy homes for cash as is, and you don't have to worry about spending money on repairs or preparing your home to be shown. If it's time to sell, you call Sellers Advantage. You get a free no-obligation offer. Their number is 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-AS-IS. 888-321-2747. Or go to sellersadvantage.com.
Sellers Advantage will buy your home, make it easy so that you don't have to worry. Sell happy with Sellers Advantage.
DRE number 01961658. Providence Realty DRE number 01915212.
SoCal weather from KFI, mostly clear tonight. Some clouds from the coast to downtown LA. Lows will be mostly in the mid-60s. This report is brought to you by rockauto.com. From your Toyota dealer's traffic center, we make it easy. Let's go to a crash on the 405 in Irvine.
So this one has been reported along the southbound side of the 405. This is coming up at Irvine Center Drive. It looks like they've cleared it out of lanes, which is great news. But let's look at that backup. That South 405 in Irvine is going to be pretty heavy. Looks like all the way from the 55 freeway. Northbound delays leaving the 133. You remain on the brakes in stretches all the way to the 710 freeway. And you still have that situation in El Segundo, 405 southbound, just before El Segundo Boulevard. Ongoing investigation after an earlier motorcycle wreck. 2 left lanes remain off limits. Delays from Santa Monica Boulevard. With Southern California's most accurate traffic reports, I'm Angel Martinez.
Oh, that grinding and squealing. What are you going to do about that?
Time for new brakes. The chain store never has what I need.
No worries. Go to rockauto.com for name brands at lower prices.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
For victims of drunk and drug driving, our grief is unique. But you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call our 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Worried about what your breath smells like after coffee, lunch, drinks, or a night out? That's why we created Zellman's, the breath mint for grown-ups. Zellman's is not available in stores, so go to Zellmans.com. That's Zellmins.com and use code SAVE for 15% off your first order.
Have you been avoiding shorts or swimsuits because of painful varicose or embarrassing spider veins? Is that how you want to live? West Medical can help. Treatments may be covered by most PPO insurance plans, including Anthem Blue Cross, Aetna, Cigna, United Healthcare, and more. Don't ignore leg pain, swelling, or bulging veins. Call 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL for your free consultation or visit westmedical.com today. Isn't it time to feel incredible?
Feel incredible. 1-800-WEST-MEDICAL.
Tap into Happy Hour with half-priced pizzas and select apps every weekday at Yard House. Find yours at yardhouse.com.
Therapy Thursday with Ellen K is a new podcast, Real Problems and the kind of drama you can't stop thinking about. Catch it on the iHeartRadio app and wherever you get your podcasts.
You don't pay for iHeartRadio. Our advertisers do. That's why it's always been and always will be 100% free. Radio, music, podcasts. Download the iHeartRadio app now.
It's the Marketer's Report. In this edition, Chris Eppel, head of marketing for the Americas, Harman JBL, speaks about the role and growth of audio.
It's been amazing over the last couple of years to see what's happened with the audio media category. And for us in particular, we've doubled our investment in the last 2 years in the audio space. We find it to be highly critical to our business. So the channels you're listening to, whether it's a podcast or a radio network, are so personal. It's from someone you trust. And frankly, it's less skippable. People are less likely to skip your ads because it's in an environment that they've already chosen to opt into and listen to.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia connects marketers to all the audiences, live conversations, trusted influencers, and the insights and data you need to grow. And all guaranteed human. If you're a marketer, go to iHeartAdvertising.com.
Some apps say they're free, then come the fees. Not the iHeart app. It's 100% free. No required subscriptions to access the best live radio stations, free playlists, podcasts, and more. Download the free iHeart app today.
iHeart Radio.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
KFI AM 640.
More stimulating talk.
Hey, coming up on the next Bill Handel show, California's trying to make shapes illegal.
Hey, don't you look at that triangle. That's illegal.
I know, stupid. AB 2047 is what we'll be talking about. That's coming up tomorrow morning after 7 on the next Bill Handel show.
KFI AM 640, more stimulating talk radio, the John Kobylt Show. And we're wrapping up here in a few minutes. After 6 o'clock, it's John Kobylt Show on demand on the iHeart app. And that's the podcast. And I'm begging you here. You got to listen to the first half hour of this hour on the podcast. Listen to Joey Tuccio. And he told the story of Nithya Raman coming over his house. He runs that animal rescue operation on Skid Row. And he says Nithya Raman had no idea what's going on Skid Row. Doesn't seem like she's been there. Offered no help for the animals, the dogs that are being tortured and killed. Just utterly clueless. Just nothing to say. And it's a very, very disturbing story that he told. And at the end of it said, hey, it's me and Karen on the card. Pick your poison. That's what she said. She has no intention of doing anything about all the human bodies piling up and all the dead dogs piling up on Skid Row or anywhere else. She just stared much of the time. We're going to be playing that tomorrow as well. This is we're getting close to the center of the disease here, of the tumor that's destroying the city. And Nithya Raman and Karen Bass are right at that center. Now I got another one here, and we're going to have Jamie Page on tomorrow from the California Post to talk more about this. I told you that there's this organization called LA Can, and it is an organization, Tuccio says, that's blocking the city, blocking the police department specifically from cleaning up Skid Row. Like stopping the dog massacre that's going on and all the crimes committed by the drug addicts and the mental patients. LA Can, it's like LA Community Action Network, they interfere and threaten lawsuits. So Jim McDonnell and LAPD is backed off, and Bass is aligned and Raman is aligned with this crazy organization. Oh, I'm sure we're funding that one too. Well, listen to this. According to Jamie Page at the California Post, Los Angeles just cut a whopping $106 million taxpayer check to a nonprofit law firm whose lawyers have spent years interfering with the city's ability to dismantle homeless encampments and clean up the streets. One attorney is billing as much as $1,025 an hour for its activism. The Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles, LAFLA, Legal Aid Foundation, was awarded the largest share of a funding package approved at City Hall this week involving tenants' rights. So LA is going to funnel, and why do they have a number this exact? $106,572,543.69. $106 million over the next 3 years. This organization repeatedly files lawsuits that blocks the city from enforcing municipal codes aimed at keeping sidewalks clear of encampments and keeping neighborhoods safe. Good Lord. So these nonprofit organizations are holding the city hostage. LA Can keeps the police from dealing with all the crime committed by the homeless people and all the dogs that they're torturing and killing. And this Legal Aid Foundation keeps the city from cleaning up the sidewalk encampments of the homeless people. I don't understand how this works. How is this possible? All this is against the law. Enforcing the law is now illegal. And then you got to pay a huge ransom to the organizations that are interfering? I don't have an answer for this. We'll talk about this more tomorrow, too. And we've got Conway coming up in minutes. And Michael Kersher is the news live in the KFI 24-hour newsroom.
KFI and KOST